Five Out Basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 5 Out podcast. I'm Joey, LeMaster, joined by Everton, Levy, as we are now 17 in, but most importantly, school's done for a week and a half till summer starts because I'm in summer classes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so this next week is going to be the best vacation of my life before it's just straight to the grind afterwards.
Literally, bro.
But
literally.
Everton, how are you doing? I know Everton had a fun night last night, guys.
Hey, you know what?
Avid rager over here.
Yeah, last night was fun, man. I mean, look, for one of my last few nights here, I had to go out again, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad school's over, bro. Like, dude, this was one of the hardest semesters I've had. So this right here, this was it. I needed this. Like, this was the saving grace, and then we're done with school now, so now I could put more into this. I'm just excited, bro. Just excited.
Maybe we'll get back on TikTok at some point now that we have some free time because we ain't been there in a minute. But let's not focus on TikToks because we have 5 segments for you like we normally do and some silly thing at the end. But let's get into it. The playoffs are still going on, and like we did for the regular season, we got to talk about some playoffs over and underperformers. Who's doing well? Who's doing horrendous? Who needs praise? Who needs to be crapped on? Everton, I know we like to hate on this podcast. It's something we're really good at. But do you want to start hating or do you want to start positive? How are we feeling?
Let's start off positive because it has been a nice playoffs, like low key. Like this is one of the most exciting ones I've seen. So let's start positive. Just off
I like that. I like that. Give me a player.
Okay, I'm gonna get the obvious one out the way. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't argue against a dude averaging 36, 4, and 8. I know the percentages might be like, but like he's still a guard, so you know they have a little bit of leeway. And then also two things. One, when it becomes his efficiency, if you take out like those first 2 games against the Sixers was like a little horrendous. But outside of that, like it's been pretty like solid. But what was it? 4 straight 40-point games? Dude, I mean, like I expected him to go off, but it's insane what we're seeing from Jalen Brunson, bro. Like all around, bro.
He probably would have gotten 40 again against Indiana if he didn't get injured and missed like 2 quarters.
Exactly.
Because he still finished like in the 20s, I think.
He's still clutched up.
Yeah.
So he's been incredible. Like the Knicks' whole offense is just, hey, Jalen Brunson, you figure it out, bro. And we'll just play defense. That's literally all they've been doing, damn near. But yeah, I think he's an easy like overperformer. Like his regular season numbers were actually really good.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, but this is just insane work. Like putting up 36 and 8 assists, you got
incredible.
It, bro. Yeah.
I'll hype up Luka for it, but they say nothing for Jalen Brunson about it. It's the world we live in.
Yeah, you know how it goes, bro. Yeah. You know how it goes.
But for my overperformer, I had a different Knick player because Josh Hart, I said last week that I think he might be the best role player in the NBA. He's about to crack the role player barrier. Like he's doing incredible numbers. Like in the regular season, he averaged 9.4 and now he's at 18. And now 12 rebounds a game as someone who's 6'4". Oh my God, incredible. And with all this like shooting, like he's getting more buckets, but his efficiency skyrocketed, like 31 in the regular season from 3, and now it's 43.9. Like he's just been so efficient with the ball because like teams really thought like, oh, well, let's guard up Jalen Brunson and then we'll leave Josh Hart open. Like surely that will work. It did not work at all. And so he's been able to eat, and he's the reason that the Knicks have been able to be so successful because he's incredibly defensive, like on the defensive side of the ball, unreal hustle this whole playoffs, and just vibes. I think he might have the most vibes in the playoffs in the moment because he's always getting in with the crowd, and then the comment he said to Reggie Miller was like, actually,
that was so funny.
I know Adam Silver had the biggest smile on his face, like, oh, I can't wait to find you for this one.
Bro, I mean, yeah, that's probably 50K that just ran his pockets, but it's okay. Yeah. That's chump change to these dudes.
Exactly.
But Josh Hart, man, like I remember watching that. Ooh, it was a game 2 against the Sixers. I don't remember
when he
exactly.
Had like 5 straight.
Yeah. Was that game 2?
It was.
Yeah, I remember sitting there and I'm like, I remember it kept popping up. He's like, he's like 0 for 5. Like he hadn't really made a shot like most of the game. Then literally out of nowhere, bro just started making everything. I was like, yeah,
Mm.
okay. And he's just been like, I know it's corny, and I heard somebody say this, but like his last name really does mean something. Like Hart,
Mm.
like he got heart. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's real.
And the rebounding. I know he's always been like an exceptional like rebounding guard, but
Uh,
dude, like to be able to have a guy like that at your, what does he play? The 2, 3, right? The three,
yeah, the three
grabbing
because
boards
Dante's the
like,
two. Yeah.
yeah, right. Grabbing boards like that. And then you have Hardenstein,
Mm.
Precious, Robinson. Like their rebounding has been so like there's so many times I watch the Knicks and it's like offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive
Mm.
rebound. I'm like, dude, these guys just getting hella boards right now, bro.
Yeah. We gotta love the Tibbs system because if you're not there to hustle, you're just gonna sit on the bench. But
Pretty much.
yeah, it's just he might be leading the playoffs in rebounds per game. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably lying, but like
Hmm.
12's a high number, so
It's
he's
a high
definitely up
number.
there.
He has to be like top 5 or top 10
Mm.
easily.
And just when you get that from a guard, as Everton said, it's just huge. But Everton, as I quickly have to respond to a mom text message, let's get some hating in. So tell me who you want to hate on.
Okay, I'm gonna also get the obvious one out the way. Jason Tatum.
Yeah, that
Now,
that was my number one.
because like, okay, here's the thing, right? He's been lucky in a way where like the Celtics are just super good, like really good as a
Yeah,
team, to where it's like it doesn't even matter how bad he's been, they're still gonna probably blow teams out.
yeah.
Ironically, they got blown out last night, but like,
Uh-huh. The Celtics got to
um,
suffer their dumb loss.
they
It
do,
just
yeah.
it just has to happen.
It's inevitable. That's why I never pick a sweep for these dudes. I
Yeah.
never pick a sweep. It's always, there's gonna be that one game, and it's always that
Nice.
one game, bro. I'm just telling you.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, for reference, Tatum's averaging 22, 10, and 5, which without the efficiency isn't the worst numbers, but when you put into account he's shooting 41, 27, 82, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
as a
okay, here,
top five player in the league.
arguably.
Yeah, a top five player in the league has pretty much been the third best player on his team.
Yeah, Jalen Brown, and
And Derek
Derek
White.
White have easily outplayed him. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But yeah, Tatum's just been like he's getting by because of the two guys we just named who have
Mhm.
been picking up his slack. But I'm gonna say this right now: when they have to go up against the Knicks or like OKC, Minnesota, or even Denver, I know people are like done with Denver for some
Uh-huh.
odd reason. Like, okay, guys, I know they're down 0-2, but this is
Mm.
still the Denver Nuggets. Let's not,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But when they go up against teams like those, Tatum can't be playing like this, bro. He
not at
can't.
all.
Like he just can't do that. So, Timberwolves with the defense we've been seeing, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but
Yeah.
like you can't. He cannot be stinking it up like this. So I'm gonna let him get by for a little bit because they're playing some competition right now. But
Mm.
when you see them big dogs, if you playing like this,
Mm.
nah, man.
Conversations are going to be had, especially with the type of play Anthony Edwards is having right now. Like
Right?
some discourse could be happening this offseason. Like if Anthony Edwards gets his ring before Tatum, we're gonna have
He's
some serious talks.
always gonna get uncomfortable. It's gonna
Yeah.
get real
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
no. It's just like Tatum is very lucky to have one of the best teams in the NBA currently, like just build wise. So like he's just a little too content. He's like, yeah, I don't need to go all in every night, but if you want to be a top five player, it's just inexcusable. It's just
Yeah.
how it ends up. So he's just gotta I know he obviously wants to win, don't get me wrong, but he just gotta want it more. He's gotta stop being so content. He's gotta be willing to get these shots up and get them in because 26% from three when you already hate driving is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I will give him this. While he's not making his shots, he is doing a decent job doing the other things though. Because like
Mm.
10 boards, that's good.
Yeah.
Like for a guy who on average probably gets around like 7 or 8, for him to be able to up it to 10, I will give
Mm.
him credit for that. Just like, all right, cool. I'm not making nothing. Let me go get some rebounds. And then
Mm.
even his passing, even though his assists are at 5, we obviously know that doesn't always tell the full story.
Of course.
So I'll give him the fact that his other things outside of scoring have actually been like good. It's
Mm.
just spade to spade, they need you to be able to make them shots. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at the end
Give
of the day, it comes back to him being able to score the ball.
Yeah, because with all due respect, Jason Tatum, you're not getting this money to be Josh Hart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're here to be
Exactly.
the guy, so let's step it up. But to go
Yeah.
back some over performers, we said the name, but Derek White has just been unreal this playoff. So being arguably the best guy on the Celtics. We gotta talk about him, man. Like
Mm,
he's averaging 21 on 54% from the field and 45% from three. All massive upgrades from what he did in the from the regular season, and the defensive effort's still there. Like he's still clamping up whenever he needs to. It's just sometimes
yep.
Donovan Mitchell's gonna go sicko mode, and you can't really do much about that.
Hey.
But Derek White, just because it's so hard. Like I know Josh Hart talked about this before, whereas like one time Brunson was out, I forgot which regular season game it was, and Tibbs told him he had to be the lead scorer, and Josh Hart was like, "Yeah, I thought I was gonna have like a heart attack after the game. Like I was so gassed." So the fact that Derek White is still hooping on the offensive side of the ball and still giving you 150% on the defensive side of the ball, it says so much about his cardio and just how much he wants to win. It's just been incredible, and he's really him and Brown have been the saving grace for the Celtics.
Yeah. Derek White. Derek White's the reason why Josh Hart's not the clear best role player. Like, if we're being
Yeah.
honest, like the
Mm.
existence of Derek White is the only reason why we're like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Hey, don't let
because
my boy TJ McConnell in this conversation now.
hey, TJ McConnell, hey, I saw did he have a double-double?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've always been hey, you know what? I'll leave TJ alone. But I do love my boy TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
But Derek White, like he's been able to step up wherever the Celtics need him. If it's a game where he doesn't need to score, all right, cool. I'm gonna go get 2 steals and 2 blocks and get some like 4 assists or 5 assists.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tatum's not hooping tonight. All right, I'll go for 28. Like he literally fills in whenever they need whatever they need, he fills in wherever
Yeah.
wherever is needed. So Derek White, man, like I'm not surprised to be honest, because looking back, since he's been on the Celtics, the past like 2 playoff runs, you looking at the numbers, Derek White been like doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe not to this level, but like I remember even against the Heat last year.
Yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't for Derek White, them dudes probably would have got swept,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? So Derek White, I'm glad he's getting his flowers, and he's just been flat out, no disrespect, the Celtics best player. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
it has
It's
to be
real.
Derek White. It has to be
It
Derek
has
White.
to be. And it's just I just really wish he was an all-star so we can stop the Celtics discourse of they don't have a super team. I'm surprised I
Yeah,
forgot to bring that up for the Jason Tatum conversation.
because realistically, they got like 5 All-Stars, bro.
Yeah.
Like
But dude, they only have
realistically,
two and they're going against like some award winners. Like they don't have a super team.
like
This might just say a lot about Jason Tatum's mentality. It's making me a little nervous.
hey, it's gonna get uncomfortable, man. Just that's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. It's gonna get real uncomfortable.
Yeah. We're gonna have some great content coming up this offseason, depending on how the playoffs keeps playing off this way.
Okay,
Uh,
so
I want to go back to hating.
okay.
I have one more player that needs to be hated on.
I want to see if you're gonna have the same person. I have one more over, but I want to see if you have the same under as me. So go ahead.
It's here. Let's say on the count of three, because I know we're going to say the same name.
Okay.
On three, two, one, go.
Okay.
Three, two, one, go. Jamal
Brandon
Murray.
Ingram. Oh,
Really?
have you seen how bad Brandon Ingram's numbers are?
Have you seen how bad Jamal Murray's
I
numbers
mean,
are?
true. Jamal Murray was also
We
another
having
guy
a
I was
mid off.
considering. Yeah, I know we are. Okay. The only reason why I wasn't sure is because Jamal Murray has been kind of like hobbled.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pick a guy like Luca because he's been hobbled.
Uh,
So I was like, I'll give them a little bit. But like, okay, if you do you know what Ingram's numbers are?
I do not inform me.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you this. Brandon Ingram, keep in mind, Zion didn't play this playoffs. So this
Yeah.
is your number one option. 14 points,
Oh gosh.
4 rebounds,
Uh,
3 assists on 34%, 25%,
oh my God.
89%.
Brandon Ingram, you are an Atlanta Hawk.
Thank you.
Oh my
Bro.
God.
See, here's the thing, right? When I was doing research for this, I was thinking Jamal Murray, but I'm like, he's been hobbled. Maybe I'll look for somebody else. And I remember looking, okay, I remember Brandon Ingram not having the best series. So I'm like, okay, let me go look at Brandon Ingram's numbers. And I was like,
Mhm.
I knew bro wasn't doing that good, but this is bad. Like
That's awful.
bad. Like
That's
I di-
Tobias Harris numbers.
exactly. And then here's the thing, right? All I can think to myself is this was supposed to be their number one option. Like
Uh-huh.
Zion's not playing. This is supposed to be the dude who's supposed to step up. Not only did he drop to 14 points, but he shot 34-20.
Oh my
You
God.
can't do that. Like you just can't do that. Like
Mm.
maybe I'm just not giving my own team enough credit defensively, but
Yeah.
like, dude, I didn't expect them to be that
Yeah.
bad. So I had to pick Brandon Ingram just off of that, bro. Those numbers were terrible.
It's crazy what Lou Dort can do to a man.
Hey, the Dorcher Chamber,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he's been putting in the work. We see what he's doing to Luca as well, but man, I did not realize Brandon Ingram's numbers were that like stinky. Like that's
Dude,
awful. Like
dude.
Trey Murphy, congratulations, you have snatched a chain.
Yeah, yeah. That chain is snatched, bro.
Mhm.
Because, whoo, boy.
Yeah. It makes me wonder what Brandon Ingram's trade value is even going to be this offseason because he got one more year to that contract expires. He might be a
Hey,
He might be a Washington Wizard at this rate.
oh, don't wish that on him. Oh my
But
goodness.
let's go to the other player, Jamal Murray. My thoughts on
Mm,
this, like no one's gonna be 100% healthy at this point in the season. So like you're
true.
just gonna have to hoop. It's like as an MMA fan, I get so pissed off whenever a fighter loses. Like, oh, I came to this fight injured. It's just the game we're in. Like, stop making like all these excuses. And like, I get you have a little bit injured, but like, not even including the Timberwolves series. This includes the Lakers series as well. If your field goal percentage gets 11% worse and your 3-point
Ooh,
percentage cuts in half from 42 to 28,
okay.
yeah,
That's fair.
conversations are going to need to be made because
Mm,
like I get like I can't support being trash. It's like I can't give them like the Timberwolves excuse, but like for these also being your numbers to the Lakers series, that's horrifying.
mm,
Especially like when your gimmick is I'm the playoff riser and I don't need to try in the regular season. You can't fall in
yeah.
the playoffs because then what are you? You're just the floor. The
Yeah.
ceiling's the floor at that rate.
That's facts. That's a
Yeah.
great, yeah, that's
Yeah,
facts.
and like you're supposed to be the second star next to Jokic, and like you've just not been there. But the
Mm,
Timberwolves, they've been playing incredible defense, so like I kind of get it. But yeah, Jamal Murray, the shots just not been there, the
no.
passing hasn't been there, the creativity isn't there, and I'm worried. I am worried for
Honestly,
the Denver
he's
Nuggets.
he's been lucky that in that Lakers series he was able to come up big like late game, pretty much
Mhm.
every game.
Oh, that saved
Like
his legacy.
that saved him because them 2 game winners, people are gonna remember that, but they're not gonna look back and be like, damn, he was kind of bad before we got to this point, you know?
Uh-huh.
But of course, hey, that's how history works, you know. Because we're gonna click on a highlight comp and we're gonna see both of those game winners and be
Uh-huh.
like, damn, bro, he hit 2 of them. And
Yeah.
somebody's gonna be a hater, like, bro, he was trash before that happened, bro. If you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm
And
gonna make a statistic highlight reel just so I can like link it in the comments.
bro, like, no, genuinely though, like I said, I considered him too. I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because one, at least his team won the series.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
1, 2. He hit 2 game winners, which I can't just gloss over. That's still
Mm.
impressive. And he came up big when it mattered.
Yeah.
And then 3, he has been a little hobbled. But I understand those numbers are bad.
Mm.
And I like your point of like, oh, I'm Mr. I don't try in the regular season. I play
Yeah.
good in the playoffs. You can't drop in the playoffs if that's your
Yeah.
whole thing. You know? It would be
Exactly.
different if he was great in the regular season and then dropped in the playoffs. Like, well, okay, that's just your thing. But
Uh-huh.
you got to pick one, buddy.
Yeah.
Either you
Pick a
try,
struggle.
pick a struggle. Either you
Yeah.
try the whole season into the playoffs as well,
Mm.
or you're just, hey,
Yeah. So we're done with him. But let's talk before we go to some overperforming teams, let's go to some underperforming teams.
let me actually do my last overperforming player. This is a
Oh,
quick
so
one.
that's my fault. My
No,
fault.
no, 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 you good, bro. You trust, you good. I gotta give credit to Joel Embiid, bro. Like
Yeah.
genuinely,
That's real.
it's like we've been dogging on him. I've been dogging on him for years because it's
Mhm.
like, bro, you're just never gonna get it done. And then even this season, we were talking about like, well, it doesn't matter if he doesn't do it in the playoffs. I gotta give him credit. Bro probably shouldn't have even been playing. Like
Yeah.
literally, like his
Now that's someone
eye.
that like I'll give him credit for being hobbling because like he had maybe every injury in the world.
Yeah, literally, like he was. You could see it. Like you can see this dude is not healthy, and he still went out there and averaged 33, 11, and 6. Yeah, granted the percentages are like, but like
Mhm.
again, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt being hobbled and like just going out there and playing. Like the
Yeah.
difference between the other guys, right? Like Jason Tatum for me. I don't know about any injuries with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
If you're just being you're just ass, then you're just ass. And then like Brandon Ingram's kind of the same thing. I remember he was coming back from injury, but
Mhm.
dude, I can't act like those numbers aren't atrocious. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they got swept, so that doesn't help it at all. But
Mhm.
Joel Embiid, like, granted, he Jalen Brunson had that series. Joel Embiid was probably the second best player in that series. I got
Mhm.
to give him credit for that. So shout out to him. I just wanted to shout him out for like we've been dogging on him, but I got to give
Yeah.
him credit when credit is due. He went out there and played, and
Yeah.
all I got to do is respect it.
Yeah, but you didn't even bring up the most important part.
Oh,
He
what
was
is it?
playing with Tobias Harris, and he was still putting up a fight.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. I didn't put him on this list because I didn't even have expectations anyways.
It's just a
Like
waste of a time. He didn't underperform. We expected this.
we expected it, so there's no point in even talking about. But me and you having the same amount of points as Tobias Harris, yeah,
Mhm.
that's all that needs to be said. You can
Yeah,
go on and go
and
over the two.
we were still shooting 100% from the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tripping. That's
So
just inexcusable.
yeah, let's keep the hating going because Everton's wearing a really stupid shirt right now.
Yeah, I was hoping you call it out.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course I am. Milwaukee Bucks, talk about underperforming. Like I know you had some injuries, but like it was just kind of here's the thing, like what we said with Tobias Harris, I kind of felt that way for the Bucks. We're like,
Mm,
were my expectations really there? But when you're a 3 seed, you can't really go out in that fashion. Like
mm.
I know we still had some injury stuff, and like if we get to the point where like Patrick Beverly and Bobby Portis need to lead the team, it's just been bad. But I will give the Bucks some credit. I thought Doc Rivers actually made an adjustment and was trying to make the game physical. I never thought I'd say a Doc Rivers adjustment in my lifetime, but we did witness it. Yeah, and it's just shocking. Shocking. Like you think I'd get like struck by lightning 3 times before that happens.
Low key.
Yeah, but the Bucks is just you can't go out in that style of fashion, especially when it happened the year before. So
Mm.
I'm nervous for the Bucks, and I just have to call it out how it is. It's just this is an underperforming team consistently now.
Yeah, I agree, but I can't dog on them too much because I literally picked the Pacers to beat them in 6. So
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I guess I can say I was right.
Hmm.
So that's why I didn't pick them as an underperforming team because, like, well, I mean, I kind of expected it, especially with the injury stuff.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, not only were you a 3 seed, first off, you being a 3 seed is probably underperforming, but
Yeah.
that's not playoffs, that's regular season.
Hmm.
But just all the hype this team had going into the season, which warranted because I believed in it too. I was like,
Yeah.
damn,
Oh,
Giannis.
I was in love.
I was like, yeah, this has to work. And this is a tough season for them. And the future is it's the future. It's definitely like,
It
you
might
know,
not even
like
be a future.
it's the time is gonna definitely move. Like we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna keep moving in terms of
Uh-huh.
time, but I don't
Yeah.
know where they're moving.
Mhm.
They're stuck low key. So
Yeah.
it's tough, you know. But yeah. So I guess I'll do my underperforming team,
Yeah. I think I know this one.
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. You have
Like
3 stars.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyways, I picked them because look, did I still pick the Timberwolves to beat them? Yes, but I thought this series was gonna go the distance,
Same here.
like 7 games. But here's the thing: one, we'll talk about them more later, but I low-key underestimated how good that team was,
Yeah. Yes,
but
I did.
like really did. And then with the Suns, wow, I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like getting swept though, like
Yeah. It's just the
I didn't
thing, like
expect them to get
the
swept,
Suns
bro.
and the Bucks are kind of the same scenario. Like after the trades, I'm like, oh, this is this going to be our finals matchup? And they both went out round one in like embarrassing fashion.
Embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, it's just
It's oh, go ahead.
that team was just built terribly. I'm so happy I have like somewhat basketball knowledge and can realize it wasn't going to work. But towards the end of the season, they really convinced me like, oh, this team could actually give the Timberwolves a fight. Like I think the Timberwolves are going to advance, but like the Suns won't go out in embarrassing fashion. The Suns
And
went out in embarrassing fashion.
they did. And this
Losses
is
of like
why
25,
oh yeah, go ahead.
17,
Damn.
12.
They was getting cooked.
Mm,
And here's a thing I also want to touch on. Um, this is why I always say the regular season records don't always mean anything.
mm,
Because for people who don't know, the Suns literally beat the Timberwolves, I think, 3 times, like 3 and
yeah.
0 in the regular season. And then what happened in the playoffs? They got swept. So
Mm,
something that a lot of that stuff doesn't really matter because when the playoffs tick on, who's gonna lock in, you know?
mm,
So again with the Suns, I know they just signed Mike Budenholzer to a 5 year.
mm.
So I guess he's their new coach. But if you
Are you
continue with
not
this,
moved?
like I'm not moved because like what realistically is gonna do to really help this roster? Because I don't think the issue was the coaching. I think the
Not at all.
roster makeup is the issue. But this front office clearly seems to be a bit delusional.
Uh,
So continue to be delusional. I don't care.
26, 28 other teams wish they had our team.
The one of the oh my, you know what?
One
Yeah,
of the
that was
comments of all time.
yeah, definitely. There was definitely a quote. That was
Yeah,
definitely a quote.
like they definitely spoke out loud and like it was
Like,
definitely put on some meme formats.
yeah, like he said that. He definitely
Yeah,
said that.
absolutely. But Everton, do you have an overperforming team?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
Orlando Magic. Oh shoot, hold on. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
nah. I love
Orlando
this.
Magic. I mean, I get it. They lost in 7, but honestly, for them to go the distance with the Cavs was already. I'm not gonna say a surprise, but that says more about the Cavs than it does the Magic
That's
because
a great take.
you know, because I feel like with the Cavs, it was like I just expect. I don't know what to. The Cavs are just. Never mind. But with the Magic, like why I picked them as an overperforming team. One, shout out Paulo. That man hooped. I thought maybe he'd struggle because Mobley and Jared Allen might do something. Nah, man.
Yeah.
He was cooking. And then I know Franz had a terrible game 7, but he was
Yeah.
good. The other, like he, I think won them one of those games with like 34 points. But he's still young. I'm not like done with Franz. And then like Jalen Suggs, like their young guys looked good in this series. And to be able to get 7 games against a team that we've said is perfect, like the Cavs, but also
Yeah.
imperfect, right? To be able to even get to 7 with them and even get so close to winning that game too. Like they were up at halftime.
Yeah.
So
It's
I said
just
they're overperforming just because of that. But again, they lost. So I can't do too much there.
It's just when you have a young team like this, inconsistencies are just bound to happen. Like Paulo would be, I mean, he was pretty much great, but there's still some moments like, oh, Paulo's not looking so great on the court. And like
Yeah.
Franz Wagner, the game 7, that will never be forgotten. But how can the Orlando Magic improve? Keep listening. You'll find out later in the podcast.
Yeah.
Because
little plug.
little plug. Because we have one more overperforming team. And it's going to transition into our next segment. Because the Minnesota Timberwolves need their own segment. You can't just talk about them as an overperforming team. We need a whole breakdown of this masterclass that we are seeing. The Minnesota Timberwolves had maybe 80 million questions heading this postseason on what could go wrong. Like, can they figure this out? They answered every question. They passed the test with an A++. They got bonus extra credit. They're valedictorians because they have looked fantastic. They have yet to lose a game so far, and with an average win margin of 15.5 points. This team is fantastic. And Everton, where do you even want to start? Because there's so many positives you can talk about.
I mean, you could literally start with Ant-Man, but I'm honestly, bro.
Yeah.
I want
You
to
can
start
watch.
with
You guys,
defense.
I actually just uploaded the Anthony Edwards segment, so you guys can watch that there. So we'll hint about him a little bit in this, but we're not gonna talk too much Anthony Edwards.
Nah, because we've already covered that. I want to go right into that defense, bro.
Yeah.
That I know people have probably been seeing those highlight reels of like the Jamal Murray getting clamped up and stuff, but okay. I've been watching the Nuggets the past year and a half, right? And they've looked dominant damn near every time I watch them play. That might have been the most flustered I've seen the Nuggets like look. Like
Without Rudy Gobert.
Without Rudy Gobert. Like I thought, okay, Rudy Gobert is gonna go, see the birth of his child, which I don't know why he's getting hate for, but whatever. But I think it's because it's Rudy Gobert why they're hating on
It's
him.
the only reason.
That has to be the only because
only if it was him, LeBron, and Draymond, those are the only people that would be getting some hate for this.
Low-key, you better be there at the game, bro. What are you talking? Anyways, but for them to Nas Reed, you are a guy. My goodness.
Yeah, no. So I had some like talking points. Sorry, I had to cut you off. I had some talking points for how I want to break this down. And my Nas Reed was Nas Reed isn't real.
Yeah.
He's not real.
He's not, bro. Like to fill in Rudy Gobert's shoes and still be that good defensively, and then space the floor. They're almost. I'm not gonna say they're better without Rudy, but like having to have the spacing on that court, with the defense still being there, dude. Like I haven't seen defense like this in a minute. So I just wanted to touch on the team defense being so good. Like it lived up because I know they had the #1 defense like the whole season, but I was like, okay, is this gonna really, I mean, I said it would be a plus for them because when the game slows down, you need to have a good defense. But dude, this has been their defense has become their offense. Because remember, we were like, what's their offense gonna look like? Them playing that level of defense has made it easier to have their offense flow. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the Timberwolves have done two things really well this series. First off, their freaky tall perimeter defenders have just had their guys like in hell. Like the Nuggets are shooting like 35% from 3, and everybody's having like career lows. Like Aaron Gordon is shooting 9% from 3. 9.
Oh my God.
That's how like disgusting the series has been. It's just like they put pressure on you the whole time. It's like you cross half court, they have 2 guys on you. And what makes this so why Nikola Jokic is one of the best players in the NBA is because like when teams are switching around, he gets these small gaps. And that's why he puts up these random like garbage hook shots that just go in.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves are so disciplined on defense. Jokic does not get to have those openings. And it just hurts the Nuggets when Jokic can't get those opportunities. And then Jokic, who's the best passing big man we've ever seen, just has not looked like it. It's just this team could switch around so well. Nas Reed and Gobert are able to. This is the first playoff series Gobert's given Jokic problems. I never thought I'd see the day.
Neither did I. Neither
It's
did
just
I,
this
bro.
team's incredible. McDaniel's incredible.
Oh,
Conley's been doing his thing. Nikhil
mm-hmm.
Alexander-Walker, who I
Yeah.
had zero expectations for after the regular season, has
Mm-hmm.
looked incredible this postseason. Like one of my questions of the 18,000 I had was who on the Timberwolves bench is going to help him. Nikhil Alexander-Walker and Naz Reid have done wonders. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredible what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Anderson exists.
Yeah. He's cool. He's cool. He does
Yeah.
his job well. He's always
Mhm.
been really solid. So I can't hate on Colin on slow mo.
Yeah.
And
And then
then
can we talk
oh,
about
go
the
ahead.
biggest talking point?
Which one is that?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so obviously he was an overperformer. We were gonna have him on the list. We were like, no, no, no,
Hmm.
no. Let's push him into this
Yeah, yeah,
segment.
yeah.
But for Cat, first off, I'm gonna just read off his numbers:
Mhm.
21 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 57% from the field,
Oh my God.
54% from three, and 84% from the line. I mean, like, what more could you ask from Cat?
Yeah.
Like,
What more can you
literally,
ask from any human being on planet Earth, let alone Cat, who's like a notorious playoff seller? Like that was probably the biggest question for the
that
Timberwolves heading this
was
postseason. It's
that
like,
was
can Cat
easily,
like not fall off the face of planet Earth? And
yeah.
Cat stayed there. He cemented his ground. And he has been huge. He's looked like the best second option in the NBA.
Yeah, I was gonna say him and Kyrie having a little battle there because
Uh,
boy, but Cat man, like he's been like exactly what you need. Like when you have this level of defense, you just need two people to do their thing on offense, and then it works. You got
mhm.
Ant-Man doing his thing, who we've touched on before, 31 points per game, whatever. Yeah, Ant-Man's doing his thing, but Cat, I mean, when your second option's shooting this efficient,
Uh-huh.
dude, like what, like. Man, shout out to Cat, bro. Because like you just said, bro's been a perennial playoff choker at this point. Like we all expected it to happen, and he's locked in, bro. Like him as a number two has been so good. And if this can be him for the moving, like foreseeable future,
Mhm.
yeah, Timberwolves are gonna be here for some
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and I remember like we talked about the Timberwolves on this podcast before. I'm like, I really don't know how open this window is in Everton. You said a funny quote, and it's just funny to look back on
What
because
did
we
I
were talking
say?
about like, so I was talking about how the Sacramento Kings on like how like the window is only so open, but like, yeah, but like when your team is notorious for losing, you can be content with just being a one seed and going out early.
I mean, that's I still believe that.
But I don't think the Kings ever had an opportunity like the Minnesota
No.
Timberwolves have because
Mm-mm.
you can make an argument that Timberwolves are currently the favorite to win the NBA championship. It's like them and the Celtics. But
Yeah.
no team has looked as good as the Timberwolves.
Mm-mm.
But
Nah, I still stand by that statement because it is
okay.
like it's better than being mid.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, bro, the Timberwolves look, I don't want to say unbeatable, but
Mm. I
I ain't
mean,
gonna lie.
they've looked unbeatable.
They've looked
I'll stand on it.
insane.
I know the Nuggets are gonna end up winning tonight because I said that, but the Timberwolves have looked unbeatable. It's just
They have.
it's just the fact that they held the Nuggets to 80 without Gobert is just horrifying.
Yeah,
Like, what do you do about
insane.
that?
Nothing, bro. There's
Yeah,
literally nothing you can do about that. And then one of the things I want to talk about is this team has a bright future. Like it doesn't end here. Like
not at all.
Ant-Man is only 22 and they have him on contract for the next like 5 years. So,
Yeah.
and then Rudy Gobert, he's on contract for the next like 2, 3 years.
Mm,
Right. Um, oh, excuse me. Nas Reed is
you're
on
good.
contract. I think Nikhil is on contract. Jaden McDaniels, I know, got a big extension. I remember when he got the extension, we were like, who? I hope
Yeah.
y'all know who Jaden McDaniels is now. Okay.
Yeah, because who needs Kevin Durant?
Right? Hey, they got Kevin Durant, we got Jaden McDaniels. That
Uh,
that quote has aged so
so
well.
well. Yeah.
So well, bruh. But like a lot of their and Cat, of course, is on contract in foreseeable future. Like this
Mm,
team has the chance to like keep this whole squad together for some time.
yeah.
Now, I do think one thing they do need to consider is getting a point guard
Hmm.
because Mike Conley is old,
Mike Conley's not gonna be here forever.
right? So you have to think that keep that in mind.
Hmm.
But I think outside of that, like a lot of these dudes are not even that old. I think outside of Mike Conley, Rudy's probably 28, 29. Like
Yeah.
he's probably getting close to 30, but for his type of play style, he should be able to get at least 2, 3 more years of like peak defense and all that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like Ant-Man 22, Cat's probably like 26, 27,
Uh,
Nas is probably like
McDaniels is young.
they're
Reed's
all
young.
young, dude. Like I know people hate I hate doing this like young core thing, but like this is a young team that's scary. But the West, oh my
The West isn't real.
oh my gosh. The West
Yeah.
might end up being 15 teams deep in like 2 years, bro. Like it's insane how the West is so stacked, bro. Oh my,
Dude, Adam Silver might have to consider like a realignment of the league.
bro. Yeah, because dude, some of these teams. I mean, aren't some of those teams not really on the West Coast?
And all I'm saying is, if you're looking at college sports, it doesn't really matter where you are in the country. You can just do whatever you want.
You can literally exactly. You can do whatever you
Money is
want. So
money. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Who
exactly.
cares about people's mental well-being?
Nah, who cares, bro? We're just here to play
Yeah.
ball.
Shut up and dribble.
That's gonna look so crazy out of context. Oh
Guys,
man.
it's not what it was meant to be like. You guys understand. But importantly, Everton, before we like wrap up on this, do you like do you think the Timberwolves are currently the favorite to win it all, or do you prefer another team over them still?
I mean, here's the thing, right? When it comes to the Timberwolves, I think they've looked the best out of every team.
Hmm.
Favorites, damn, it's hard to say no because like no other team has made me feel like, yo, like the Nuggets, if first off, they're clamping up the Nuggets. That's already
Yeah,
like, what?
concerning.
And then OKC, I believe in my team, but we're still young. We're still trying to we got to worry about the Mavs right now. I can't even
Yeah.
focus on the Timberwolves. We got to worry about the Mavs.
Hmm.
And then the Mavs got to worry about us too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then with Boston, I feel like they, Tatum, bro. I'm telling you right now, if Tatum plays like this in the finals, they can't do that against the Timberwolves.
They
So
can't.
I don't know about that one.
Who
And
would
then
have
the
thought Jason
Knicks,
Tatum would end up becoming the X factor of a team?
that is so crazy, but
Hmm.
it's kind of what it is.
Hmm.
And then the Knicks, I do somewhat trust them, but the only thing that worries me is how much they rely on Jalen Brunson offensively.
Yeah.
Because okay, you can do that against Philly. You probably do that against Indiana, but against some of those other teams, if he struggles, y'all
Hmm.
got to be able to win. And if they can't do that, it's gonna be kind of tough for the Knicks.
Yeah.
So they might be the favorites just off the strength of like other teams aren't impressing me as much as they are.
Yeah. And just my biggest worry with the Knicks is they're still gonna win the East. Don't worry about it. I still stand on that.
Hey,
But
I ain't mad
Tibbs
at you.
has 5 guys play 48 minutes.
Mm,
It catches up to you at some point. Like we just saw Mitchell Robinson get injured. He's gonna be out rest of the playoffs.
hmm
It's going to catch up with the Timberwolves. They have a somewhat solid rotation to make sure nobody's like actually having a heart attack on the court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is why does matter. Like you do
Mhm.
need at least 8 guys that can play.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just doing the tips thing and just play, just get back in the game, get back in the no, bro. I need to sit down, dude.
Please. But
Jeez,
Everton, you
man.
got a smile on your face? Can I take it away real quick?
Yeah, go. Oh, okay.
Yeah. How can you
Okay.
watch this playoffs and not think Chris Finch is the best coach in the NBA? Should be coach of the
Oh,
year.
I look. I've been saying, look, it was gonna be whoever got the first seed.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't. Mark and him were going neck and neck. I just was like, hey, whoever gets that one seed is gonna win it, and
Hmm.
we got the one seed, so
Yeah.
I can't be mad. But Chris Finch, my man, isn't even like walking around, bro. He's
Yeah.
just sitting there
Hmm.
watching his team cook.
Literally just taking it all in. Like I built this.
Like I literally be watching Timberwolves games, and there's like some other dude I don't even know who he is. Is he the
Yeah.
assistant coach or
He
something?
is. I have no idea what his name is, but he is the assistant.
I just see him doing the whole thing, and then Chris Finch is like, hey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, he's just telling him what to do, and it's working, bro. But that's why they say coaching is important. Like he's clearly built a foundation for this
Mhm.
team, and even when he's not able to walk up and down the sideline, they're still there. Like
Yeah.
it's still there. They know what to do, and I think that's incredible. I think can we have a conversation about him being the best defensive head coach?
We can definitely have those
We could have a
conversations.
conversation about that
Him and
one.
Tibbs are about to have an intense rivalry
Mm,
going.
that's true. Yeah. So, but yes, I wouldn't be mad at anybody saying he's the best or he should have won Coach of the Year. Like I said,
Mhm.
I thought it came down to just whoever got that one seed, and we got the one seed. So shoot, I
Mhm.
ain't mad at it.
Well, congratulations to the Thunder. Congratulations for being a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah,
But there is another team that has a bright, bright future. They may not be in the playoffs anymore, but things are looking good for the Orlando Magic. We're not doing a team breakdown though. It's 5 out GM mode. We're trying to make the Magic contenders next season, and they
yeah.
have a lot to work with. They're projected to have the fourth best cap space heading in this free agency with like 25 million. They had a lot of
Mm,
success this season. And I've said this before, and I just find it really funny. the Magic are good on basketball, but when you talk about like their weaknesses, they should be one of the worst teams
They should.
because
They should.
they can't pass the ball, they can't shoot the ball, and their center can't rebound. How is that a fifth seed?
I don't get it.
Like if I didn't tell you the roster at all and I told you the three weaknesses, you would have thought I was talking about like the Wizards or the Pistons. But it's the Magic.
It's the Magic. Yeah.
And they have the opportunities to fix these holes. Everton, before we talk about our rebuild, what are your thoughts on the Orlando Magic right now?
I'm very excited for this team. I do think, yeah, like you said, they have a lot of, but that's what makes it scary that they have that many weaknesses and they're still able to be a fifth seed.
Exactly.
Like what? With all those young players as well. Like, I think obviously we're gonna make sure this team is well suited for the next season, fixing these weaknesses. But I guess I'll jump right into the first thing we usually do, which is the head coaches, because that's another thing. That's the first thing I thought of. Hey, this is the first time we're gonna go into the season with the same head coach.
Actually,
like literally, like I know the other two GMs we did, it was like, oh, who's gonna be the new coach? No.
Yeah.
Jamal Mosley is the coach. He is the coach. Like, was he third in coach of the year?
He was.
There's no reason to get rid of him. There's literally nothing in consideration. He is our head coach. That was the easiest part for me when it came to doing this.
I didn't even think about it. I just wrote down his name to make sure I didn't like accidentally mess it up on air.
Same. I just literally just put head coach keep. Like simple as that.
Yeah.
Nothing else to it. So yeah.
Yeah. But they got an incredible starting five. The development of Jalen Suggs has been incredible. Gary Harris is a basketball player. Von Wagner has been incredible. Paulo Banchero is an all-star. And then they got a pretty solid bench as well. But Everton, before we get into what moves you want to make this offseason, first off, I want to talk about what my goals are this offseason, and I'm going to say my first idea that needs to happen.
Okay.
Firstly, I think we got to address shooting, passing, and a rebounding center.
Same thing. Literally same here.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And then the first thing, give Anthony Black some burn, please.
Yep.
Why is he not playing? Especially when you need a point guard that can pass, and that's the guy you drafted. Give him some run time. Markelle Fultz is literally like crapping his pants live on national television in front of like millions of viewers.
Yeah.
Play the young guy. Like I know they may not be seeing something I can see, but like I practice can't be that bad where Anthony Black can't get any burn time when his strength is your guys' biggest weakness. Like I just feel like that's an easy connection, easy like band-aid to fix your boo-boo. So that's the first thing I'm doing. Like he's not gonna start for me next year.
No.
He's getting legit minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I was confused because when they drafted him at 6, people were like, damn, was that a reach? And then they just weren't playing that much. I'm like, okay, either bro gotta be just dog water in the practice or something, or because if you look at his percentages, like his percentages are good. I know his numbers aren't jump out the page, but he's not playing that much. But for your weakness to be point guard play / like passing, and you drafted a guy who that was like his biggest strength, a little confused. So I do agree wholeheartedly. He does need to be getting some more minutes next year. So right there with you.
Glad we can get on that. So Everton, let's address free agency first, and then we'll head towards the draft.
Okay.
Firstly, I think all the people are going to be free agents. You let them walk. You let Fultz walk. You let Harris walk. You let Go walk.
Yeah.
You let Ingles walk. And then I think Mo Wagner is going to be a free agent as well. I wouldn't be mad they brought him back, but with my vision, he wasn't going to be necessary on the team. So I'm letting him walk as well. Because if you do all that and then a potential trade, you're going to have 25 to 30 million already before you make any trades. Like there's going to be cap room there. And legit, like all the Magic's like worst players from the postseason are all free agents. Let them go. How have they earned the right to come back?
That is crazy. Yeah, no, that I agree. I agree. Same thing. Let those guys go because the guys I want to bring in, I want to
bring some names.
Yeah. How many names do you have bringing in?
I have 2 being brought in. It could be 3, but I'm going with 2.
I have 3 with a 4th maybe, but I don't think the cap space is gonna be too nice on that last one. So I was like, he's kind of like a throw in, but
okay.
Yeah.
So here's the first thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
There's been a lot of rumors swirling around about this.
Don't say it.
You do not sign Klay Thompson.
Good.
That is such a waste of money.
Yeah.
If the Magic do that, I'm going to be so pissed off, and literally the future will dwindle. Like I know you need a shooter. Klay Thompson is too inconsistent to be your shooter. Like if you have to rely on 35-year-old Klay Thompson to win you games, it's over. It's beyond over.
I'm glad we agree on that.
He should be a Detroit Piston next year.
Like, I was not bringing in Klay. That was not happening.
Yeah, because there's been so many rumors. I'm glad we feel the same way about it. Get him out of here.
Yeah, definitely not.
So Everton, who's the first name you brought? Like, what would you say would be the biggest signing?
I think it was a toss up between these two in terms of what I think is the biggest signing. But I
Uh,
think, okay, if you're not gonna get Clay, which you shouldn't,
yeah, you
go
should
after Buddy
not.
Hield.
I like that.
Buddy Hield, like he's been notorious for being called like the third best shooter, all that. Like
Uh,
he's known for being a shooter. So when I looked at the list of free agents, I'm like, oh, Buddy Hield, he one is shouldn't cost you too much.
yeah,
Like 14 million, that shouldn't be too break the bank.
mm.
And if you're really willing to pay money for Clay, nah, bro, put that money in on a guy like Buddy Hield. That's what I
Yeah,
think. So, yeah, I say go up to Buddy Hield. He's literally known for being a floor spacer,
mm.
and he can shot create a little bit. So he's not
Yeah.
like just a cone, like oh catch fire. No, like he
Mhm.
can shot create too. So, and I think he's be a perfect signer for them just off of that.
Do you think Philly would let Buddy Hield walk though?
So I don't know how their whole thing is. I don't know if they'll have bird rights on him. I'm assuming because he was traded, so they might
Yeah.
have bird rights on him. But I don't know how that works. He'll still be unrestricted,
Hmm.
so he can technically go where he wants.
Yeah.
So
It's just Philly's got like they got the second most cap space in the
they
NBA,
do,
so like they got
so they
money to
can
spend as well.
overpay.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing though. With Philly, I feel like I heard a lot about that Paul George stuff.
Hmm.
They might want to put their money on that and let a guy
Okay.
like Buddy Hield walk. Just my theory. Just
Yeah,
my theory.
I'm just saying Paul George and Joel Embiid would probably be my least favorite duo in the history of the sport. I'd feel so bad for Tyrese Maxey.
Oh man, he's not getting that ball.
Not at all.
He's not getting that ball.
But so I'm gonna say my first signing,
Mm-hmm.
and that was Malik Monk. I think
That's a
Malik
good one
Monk, yeah,
too. That's a
because
really good one.
he can score. Like he's freakishly athletic and can shoot the ball, and he's an underrated passer. I think that'd be a and it's time for him to start starting. He doesn't need to be a
Hmm.
six man anymore. Give him that opportunity. I think Orlando can do that, and they can afford it because I think there's a 0% chance he's going to back to Sacramento. I'm gonna
You don't
talk
think
about that.
so? Why
I'm
not?
not. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I'm gonna talk about it later.
Okay. 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 That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
We have a stock segment coming up, and so I'll be talking about the Sacramento Kings in that.
Okay.
Because
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think he's gonna return to Sacramento
Mm-hmm.
because like he's ready to compete, and I think Orlando's gonna do that, and they can pay him what he wants. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Malik Monk would be a fantastic fit, and that addresses doesn't fully address the passing, but addresses the shooting
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. It was a toss up for me between Malik and Buddy Hill because I saw his name on the free agents list too. But I don't know. I thought, okay, maybe he'll go back and want to play with his college teammate. And I mean, but that's true. If he wants to be a starter, Orlando is the place to be because they let him
Mhm.
start. Whereas Sacramento, I don't know if they're going to keep being, nah, go ahead and score 20 off the bench, bro. You're
Yeah.
good. So, but yeah, I like that signing. I think they kind of almost do the same thing and not like perfectly, but like.
Mhm.
So I like both signings. Obviously, well, our rosters will look a little bit different,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You get two GM perspective here, so it's so nice.
Yeah, it's
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 just
the, it's the way to go. It's
yeah.
the way to go.
The only thing I like, I love Buddy Hield as well, so I'm not trying to
Hmm.
like say like this is a trash thing. But like I think
Yeah.
Leo Monk has more versatility when it comes to scoring. Like I can
Hmm.
trust him to get to the
Hmm.
basket and do like some freaky highlights. So
Yeah.
that's why I think that would help out Orlando a lot.
I agree. I definitely agree that he's definitely more versatile as a scorer. So I am
Yeah.
not mad at that.
So then I have one more signing, but I have
Me
two
too.
options for how this can go. So
Okay.
you need a rebounding center so bad.
Are we gonna have
So
the same center, bro?
I think we might have the same second center.
Okay.
But you either go all in and you bring in Nicholas Claxton because no one wants to go back to Brooklyn, or you bring in
Hmm.
Andre Drummond on a cheaper deal.
Oh, we don't. Okay. Okay. We don't. Okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah, because I
thought
think
of
Drummond would be the perfect fit.
Yeah, because it would be cheaper. It would
Yeah.
be way cheaper. So
Mhm.
I actually like that. I thought Jonas Valanciunas. Um, what?
We're not putting training wheels on the Orlando Magic. Don't do them like this.
Oh my gosh! What you don't rock with
No,
Jonas Valanciunas,
I
bro?
don't. I make fun of it every week for it because I saw this online. She's like, Jonas Valanciunas is literally like he's a wow. Why did I just forget the word when I literally said it out loud? Like when you put like, I just said, why am I having a brain fart? What's the wheel you put on bikes so you don't fall over?
Oh,
Training
training
wheels.
wheels?
Yeah. He's training wheels for a contending team. So it's like, yeah, it does the job. But if you want to like fully ride the bike, you got to take off the training wheels.
You
And
know
Jonas
what's
Valanciunas is the
crazy?
training wheels.
Damn! Every time a team is about to contend, he's getting traded, and then they
Mhm.
contend. Damn! I didn't even think about that. Dang!
Yeah. So I just don't think like he's good. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Magic should shoot higher than good.
Dang!
So
Well,
that's
okay.
why.
When I looked at the free agents list, I was like, okay. Claxton, he's restricted, so
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna end up back in Brooklyn, even if he doesn't want to be back in Brooklyn.
God damn.
Just saying, you got to
Yeah,
remember he is restricted,
that is true.
so that's why I didn't consider him. And then Drummond, I like that one. He's
Mm,
cheaper, and they could probably bring him in, so I like that one. I went with Jonas because while, like you said, he's training wheels, but he's still a solid player.
he
He's
is.
a big body, so you can get some rebounds, and he can somewhat space the floor, which
Yeah,
I
which
feel
is
like
huge. That would
which
benefit
helps
Paolo
you.
so much.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like having a guy who can somewhat floor space and
Mm,
rebound fixes two issues at once. I'm still rolling with Jonas, but I didn't even
okay.
think about that. He is training wheels. That's crazy. He kind of
It is.
is.
Yeah, it's just
Because
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
literally, Raptors traded him, win the chip.
Yeah.
He goes to the Grizzlies. They trade him. They start being a contender.
Uh-huh.
Now the Pelicans are teetering on being a contender. So what's
And
next?
they're getting rid of Jonas
Damn.
Valanciunas.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
funny as hell, bro. I did not think about that.
So I like the spacing thing, but I feel like with Wendell Carter still being on the team, if you bring in like Andre Drummond, you can kind of just put on the court who would be the best scheme for like, or do
Mm,
we need to focus on rebounding or we need the spacing for Paolo? So that's when you have
mm,
Wendell in. So I think
true.
that's why with that you can get the best of both worlds. So that's why I just committed on getting some rebounds because Wendell Carter does not rebound for a center.
No, he's literally Al Horford.
And I want to see Drummond get some minutes so bad. As a Bulls fan, I'm praying for his success. So I want him to go to a team
Mm.
that's getting ready to win games and where he's going to shine. And I think Orlando would be that beautiful fit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. That's a really good. I like how cheap it is too.
Mhm.
That's a very cheaper option. So I like that.
So did you have any other free agents? Because I thought you said you
So
had 3 to 4.
yeah, I had two more names that were just kind of like, we'll see.
Okay.
I had Malik Beasley. Now he's kind of a fake shooter, so that's why I'm like I wasn't sure about him. But look, his numbers are always gonna say that he shoots the three ball well, so why not gamble? He doesn't
Hmm.
have to play that much, sure, why not? And the other guy, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I say this guy's name a lot, but Tyus Jones.
Okay. No, that's a perfect point guard
He's
fit.
so good though. Like
Yeah. No,
he
that's awesome.
works.
I
He
love that
works so
signing.
well. So like with Tyus Jones, like I feel like if you bring him in, first off, Suggs could play the two. He's not
Yeah.
incapable of playing the two.
He really
And
should
then
play the
like,
two.
right, he should probably play the two. And then you have him and Jones. Jones is one of the most steady point guards you can have. He can floor space. He's pretty efficient. He's not gonna turn the ball over.
Hmm.
And he can pass. Like he literally can do everything you need from like your steady point guard. And he could probably teach Anthony Black some things. I don't know. I mean, they're not that far apart in age, so that's kind of a weird thing to say. But
Hmm.
well, actually, they might be kind of far in age at this point now, actually. But at the end of the day, like he'd be a good point guard to have. And then off the bench, you'll still have Cole who could shot chuck at this point. That's kind of all he
Hmm.
does. And then Anthony Black hopefully get more minutes. I think they'd have a good guard rotation from those like
Hmm.
four guards. Let Fultz walk.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's so I'll keep Malik Beasley because I don't think he'll cost that much. And then Tyus
Hmm.
Jones shouldn't run your bank too much. So I'll keep all four of the guys I had, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. If I wasn't trying to give Anthony Black more burn, I think Tyus Jones would be the perfect
Mm,
option. 100%.
hmm Yeah.
But that, yeah.
That's a good point.
Mm. So
And then
Everton,
you also have
what's up?
Buddy Hield now for
Mm.
me. Maybe I'll pass on Ty Jones because he might actually cost some bread too because he's
Uh-huh.
kind of a hotter commodity. So
Mm.
yeah.
Well, now we go to draft day in Everton. You were talking about Cole Anthony.
Mm.
I'm getting rid of him here.
You're trading him.
I am
Okay. Okay. That's okay. I didn't even
because
consider that. Okay.
I have the Magic trading up in the draft
To what?
to pick number 7.
Is this a segue?
It's not going to be a segue, but
Oh,
it could
okay.
be a segue because I do bring it up in my mock draft. First ever trade in 5-out mock draft history is going to happen today, ladies and
Damn.
gentlemen.
Okay.
But when I look for a player in this draft that's ready to compete right away, is an incredible 3-point scorer, also can get to the rim, I'm like, oh my God, 23-year-old Dalton Connect is exactly what the Orlando Magic need off this bench so bad. We
Mm-hmm.
saw the immediate impact Jaime Jaquez had. Imagine the impact this 23-year-old is going to have. And when it's the Magic's biggest holes, this is going to be the biggest spark plug in the world. And I think the Magic should do anything in their power to get this guy. And when you already have 18 million guards, you can give up one of them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you can move on from Cole Anthony to give Anthony Black more burn and you can get a wing that's going to give you exactly what you need and it's not Klay Thompson, you do the move. You can afford to
Yeah.
do it. And the
I'm not mad
Magic,
at
they
that.
have like 3 first-round picks next year, so I had them trading this year's 18th pick. They trade either. So I don't get how this works. Draft picks confuse me sometimes because it's either gonna be Milwaukee's or Memphis's pick. If it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be Memphis, just give it right back to the Grizzlies. Let them have their pick. And so
True
you give
that.
him those two first, and then you give
Oh.
him Cole Anthony so the Grizzlies can have like another point guard off the bench
Mm-hmm.
because the Grizzlies can work on improving their depth a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think this would be a beautiful trade for both sides.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't think of a trade, so I just went straight for the 18th pick.
Okay, who'd you
And
take?
I did this. I did the mock before I did the GM.
Okay.
So I've had them picking Devin Carter because he's
Hmm.
let me actually pull up his profile so I don't spaz.
Man, you're about to have
Um
like 7 point guards.
yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I did this before, but I mean he's a guy who can space the floor. He averaged 20. He averaged
Yeah.
9 rebounds
Yeah,
too.
no, he's a
Damn.
hustle guy.
So he'd be good. He'd be a good guard to have. But
Hmm.
again, I did this before. So it kind of is a little tweaky now. So I think,
Hmm.
okay, I'll keep him, but I'm gonna get rid of I'm not gonna sign Tyus Jones, pass on the Tyus Jones thing. Fultz is gone.
Yeah.
And then Cole Anthony. Hmm.
Ni hao, chi hao.
He's, I don't know if I'd trade him in the draft
Hmm.
specifically, but I'm
Hmm.
sure there's a team that would love to have Cole Anthony. So I'd probably look to move him to a team who
To,
wants like a 6 man kind of
just get some
dude.
draft capital.
Yeah, something like that. It doesn't have to be specifically a player in return, just some draft capital for the future. Why not?
Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna give you guys my roster, and then Everton's gonna give you his roster, and then I want to hear in the comments who did the better rebuild, because a little bit of friendly competition, because this is
Yeah,
like the only time where me and Everton don't say the same exact thing.
pretty much.
And so my lineup, because what I like about Everton's though is like Jalen Suggs is gonna be at the 2, because I have
hmm
Jalen Suggs at my point guard, which I like. He's still a good passer, but I still think the passing of Orlando can be improved on. I'm hoping Anthony
hmm
Black can save that issue.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
lineup is Jalen Suggs, Malik Monk, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and then I'm gonna go with Drummond. I'm not gonna go for Nick Claxton. And then so Drummond and Wendell Carter will be interchangeable, so one of them will be the 6 man, and then I'll have Dalton Connect, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, and Jet Howard. Jet Howard's not gonna get any burn. It's just I needed a
Mm,
10th.
Probably not gonna get no burn. Okay, so with me, I guess dropping Tyus Jones because they're drafting Devin Carter.
Mm,
I guess Suggs will go back to playing the 1 because I don't know how I feel about starting Carter or Black.
yeah.
So I have to just pass on that. So I guess Jalen Suggs will still be the 1, which is not a big thing, not a
Mm,
big deal, not the craziest thing, but Suggs, Healed, um, Franz, Paulo, and then Jonas, which I think is
mm,
actually not a bad starting lineup, low
not at
key.
all.
And then off the bench, I guess Malik Beasley, Anthony Black, Devin Carter, and Jonathan Isaac,
Mm,
and I guess Jet Howard,
mm.
who I don't know how much burn he's gonna get, but he's on the team.
Dude,
So,
someone needs
oh,
to
Wendell
clap. Oh,
Carter,
when
Wendell
the
Carter
yeah,
as well.
I say someone
Uh,
needed to clap their hands, get that Gatorade ready, have a nice fun conversation and some street clothes,
True, true, true. That's facts.
and
He does need to be on the bench for vibes, for vibes.
he will bring vibes. But let us know in the comments who rebuilt the Magic the best, who'd compete more next season. But speaking of draft, we're returning to a 5 out staple. This will be wow, 5 outs fifth mock draft 5.0. That's
Damn.
historic.
Woo.
So we're gonna go a little deeper in this. We're gonna go 23 picks in because some teams got eliminated, so we know the order a little bit more.
Yep,
I'm excited. I had some fun. I gotta move my microphone so I can read my paper better.
you're good.
And I'm ready. And I'm gonna go first
hmm
because I need
So
to
wait,
have
are
what's
we
up?
doing back and forth like one, two, three,
No, we're each
four?
doing our picks.
Each doing our own picks.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got you.
So with the first pick, it's been this like 3 weeks or 3 times in a row, but it's gonna be Zachary or Shea. Before
Mm,
I get into him, I want to talk about Alexander Sarr because he's kind of been like the unanimous #1 pick throughout mock
mm,
drafts. And
yeah.
people are like, he's a great fit next to Jalen Duren. I don't care what fits next to Jalen Duren. I care what fits next to Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. This can't be the third season in a row of Cade Cunningham being your best 3-point shooter. It just
Yeah.
cannot happen. It's disgusting. So I would rather get someone that benefits that. So give me someone that's going to space the floor. Zachary Shea is shooting 56.3% from the 3-point line. That's disgusting numbers. And that's the fit the Pistons need. This should be their guy. He's gonna be great next to Sarr Thompson as well, and this would benefit the Pistons so much.
Yeah, I also went Reese Sachet. I mean, Sar might, you could say he might have the higher ceiling. I don't know, but I can't look past a guy who could shoot. And then, first off, okay, let's say Sar isn't the shooter because he hasn't been a great shooter.
Yeah,
Like that's
very
not his
inconsistent.
his form looks cool, but that doesn't mean he can shoot all right away. You cannot give Cade a starting lineup that includes Sar,
Yeah.
Duran, and Asor Thompson. You
That's
cannot do
so
that.
bad. That's so bad.
You can't do that. So I agree. Reece Shea should be the number one pick just off of strength that he
Mm.
can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So we
And,
agree on that one
yeah, not only
because
can he shoot the ball, he's an off-ball scorer, so he's gonna sit over there while Cade and Ivy can run their little dribble up top and dot and run at the hoop. So that's awesome
exactly.
for the team. And
Yeah.
he's an underrated slasher. He's like 6'9", too, 6'10",
hmm
depending where you look. That's
Michael
just
Porter
that.
Jr.
Yeah, that's a dream build.
Yeah.
So give me
Yeah.
that. But for second pick, I'll let you go first. We'll interchange who goes first.
Second pick, I went Alexander Sarr. I
Oh,
think at the end of
great
the day,
start.
he's
Great
still
start.
got like some of the most potential in the draft. So the Wizards are kind of a team who don't. It's not about fit. It's about you pick the best dude. So
Yeah.
I think for them, they pick Sarr because it's like, yeah, we just got to pick some. We got to pick the guy, like the best
Mm,
player. So I think he still has a good chance to be a great player. I'm not like
yeah.
out on Alexander Sarr. I think he'll be a great player. I think, and for this type of situation,
Mm,
hey man, pick Sarr, bro. Like
yeah.
you just need the best prospect.
Mm.
So get Sarr.
Yeah. I'm not completely sold on Saar. I've said that before, but I also have him going number 2 because like the Wizards are just going to take BPA.
They have
And
to.
Saar and Kuzma, they could be a fun duo. I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd benefit Kuzma, getting a 7'1" defender who likes to block shots. I think that can be
True.
some fun, and especially if
hmm
Saar can develop that 3-point shot like people are hoping for. I think it could be a lot
Yeah.
of fun. I'm seeing a
hmm
lot of Jaren Jackson
Yeah.
comparisons.
That's what I've been hearing too.
Yeah. So I like that pick. I want Saar as well, 2 for 2. Will we go 3 for 3? Because the
Let's see.
Hornets are taking one of my stamp of approval, Stephon Castle.
Oh my gosh. 3 for 3.
3 for 3. This is a very
Dude,
entertaining podcast where we like give interchanging thoughts so you guys can get different perspectives.
bro, it's just because I feel like the fit is so good
It's
here, bro.
awesome.
Like
LaMelo, Castle, and Miller moves mountains. That
moves
might
mountains,
I'm not gonna
bro.
lie, just off aura, that might be my favorite trio in the NBA. Like that team
Low
would be
because
so much fun.
it would because like I think at this point they just need a backcourt mate for LaMelo because okay, James Booknight.
Let's be serious.
Trey Man, he looked good in Charlotte. So, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's your future guy yet. You got to
No.
let him have a full season. Brandon
Mm,
Miller's a 3, so you're good. He has a wing, and then Mark Williams I think is a good center. I
he
feel like
is.
Mark Williams is a pretty solid center to have. So I feel like get that too, and he's a
Yeah.
big 2 as well. Like he's
Mm.
not some little 2. Like he's like 6'5", 6'6", right?
Yeah, 6'5", I think. And he's a hustle defender and he likes to attack the rim. Let LaMelo
Perfect.
Ball get some spacing. Like this is gonna be a fun team in Charlotte. I never thought I'd say
Mhm.
Charlotte could have a bright future, but with how weak it gets in the East, the Hornets can have some fun next year.
They could. We say that all the time though, and then they just something always goes wrong, and then they
Mm.
don't. But like they could, they could.
Yeah, but I've been having the Stephon Castle stamp of approval. I've been excited to see all the hype he's been getting because when we did our first mock draft, he's like in the 20 range. I was like, you guys, this guy's young. He's a freak athlete that can dunk and defend. How could you not love that? And so
Yeah,
eyes are being opened.
yeah. I cannot wait to see what he does.
But now we go to number 4. We're gonna go to the Trailblazers. They can pick about anything that's not a guard.
Yeah, the thing is, 4 is so high to where it's like the guy who I picked here, I feel like it's a reach,
Uh,
but it's like I don't know where else to go because they really just it's really a wing thing. They really just need a wing.
okay.
And I went for the dude with the most potential there, and this is again, it's a reach, and I am acknowledging it as a reach.
Mm.
Matas Buzelis, bro. I know at 4 is crazy.
Call me an Everton Wendy's because we are 4 for 4.
Oh my God,
This is awesome. This is peak content.
bro. I'm just glad we agree because it's
Yeah.
like, look, maybe it makes sense for them to trade down. I don't know, but like there's no, don't pick a guard. You have 3 guards on the team. Don't be
Mm.
dumb and do that. You
Mm.
have bigs, so you kind of cool there. Get a wing,
Yeah.
and whoever that wing is, I want Buzelis because he has probably the most upside
Mm.
at that
Yeah.
position. And look, sometimes you gotta just go upside.
Mm. And I mean, he's 6'10", he's athletic. It just he needs a 3-point shot to come back. 'Cause he was shooting like 45% in high school and then shot like 23% in the G League or something atrocious like that.
Yeah.
3-point shots gotta follow along. But hey, he's a freak athlete. Low-key underrated defender as well. He was getting a lot of blocks in the G League, so that could be some fun for Portland, and I think that'd be a
hmm
fun fit for him. It just has to
Yeah.
be a wing.
Yeah, it has to be a wing. You can't be dumb and pick another position. It has to be a wing. Wholeheartedly has to be a wing. And I feel like we're gonna go 5 for 5.
We aren't.
Oh, we aren't. Okay. Okay. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
I know what this pick has been 4 mock drafts in a row. He got like a 3-month injury though, so I'm a little worried.
Mm.
And I'm trying to think of the fact that I think the Spurs, I still believe they're going to trade for Trae Young. I'm still on that train.
You're still well, that's your Pelicans.
Well, either or. It's just I want Pelicans, but I still think San Antonio's gonna pull it off.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
I want to do a guard who I think could play the 1 or 2. And tell me this would not be the most fun trio of all time of Victor Wembanyama, Trey Young, and Rob Dillingham.
Ah, you went the Rob well.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I
went
just
the
think that team
Rob
would be
well.
so much fun. Just Rob's
Mm-hmm.
just got such versatility when it comes to scoring. He's so quick and shifty. He can make any layup. He can still pass as well. And he's just he's literally lightning in a bottle. It's always a big play that's about to happen with Rob. And to
Mm-hmm.
just Rob Dillingham and Victor Wembanyama, like I'm about to start fangirling over here. Like I'm about to start laying on my stomach, kicking my feet up, thinking about it because that might be my 2 favorite players in the NBA.
Yeah, that would be a lot of aura. That would be a lot of aura. My
Mm.
only question mark with that is I ain't gonna lie, the backcourt of Trey Young and Rob Dillingham sounds like food. Like I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like
Hey,
this is braised oxtail over here,
yeah,
yams, collard greens. Like that sounds like food. I ain't
yeah,
gonna
but
lie.
have fun, guys. Just run into Victor
True,
Wembanyama. When
true.
in
That's
doubt,
true too.
Wembanyama it out.
Yeah, that's very true
Mm,
too. So I guess that's facts. I
mm,
went for Topic, if you can tell.
yeah.
Now, okay. So I see that you went your draft, like you consider trades. I guess
Mm.
I didn't think about no trade. I'm just like, hey, this is the order. We're going in
I
this
think it's
order.
one of 2 or 3 times I did it.
Okay, that's fine. No, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
It's I
Thank you.
like
Thank
predicting a
you.
trade.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Mm,
rock with that. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Topic because I think it's been said he's probably the best passer in this draft.
by far.
By far. He's a big guard too. So I guess if
Mm,
they still wanted to get Trey Young, he would be like the height would be there to play the two, but they'd both be having the ball in their hands. It might be kind of the DeJounte Trey Young thing again.
uh-huh,
But with Topic, the only question mark is the shooting. But I think
mm,
right now you get the best passer because you have freaking Wemby over there.
mm,
Throw him the ball. That's literally
mm.
all Topic needs to worry about is giving the ball to Wembanyama. So I think having the best passer available, you got to pick him at 5.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great fit. It's just the only reason he slipped, I probably would have taken him. It's just he had the 3 month injury. It just kind of worries me for a young guy. I think it was a knee injury as well, which is just it's a little bit of a red flag for me. And just with this being not a weak draft, but a
Yeah.
weaker one,
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
tiny things matter. And
That's
so
true.
I just gave Rob the upper advantage with that one.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all.
So that'll bring us to number 6, where the Toronto Raptors are on the board. I'm not going Zach
So
Edey this time.
I just realized that I tweaked and had those flipped 6 and 7.
Okay.
I had the Grizzlies at 6 and the Raptors at 7.
Some websites had different orders. On mine, I
Okay.
got from CBS, I think.
Mm, okay. I'll just keep because technically it's still a lottery, so we don't
Yeah.
know. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
just leave
Yeah,
the
stick
Grizzlies at
with your
6.
order.
I'll stick with mine. I'm not mad at it. I think we both know what it is though. It's
We
Donovan
we
Clingan.
been yeah, we've
It's
been
it's
talking about it for
Clingan.
years.
It needs to happen. I need
Yeah.
it to happen. I don't care. It needs to happen, bro.
Yeah.
Like Clingan, Jaren Jackson will feed families with jaw. That's just
Mm.
too much aura to pass on,
Yeah.
bro. I can't, bro.
Mm.
Perfect fit. Like
Yeah.
Wemby, yeah, aura's there with the blocks, but Clingan, Jaren Jackson as a front court,
Mm.
you don't want to
Y-
go in that paint
You
because you're
get
just
D
not.
so you get DPOY Jaren Jackson back because like he was so good when he had Steven Adams there, but then
Yeah,
once he left, it just crap the bed. So now you're gonna get someone like you can argue might be a better defender than Steven Adams, and the
exactly.
mountains will be moved.
And rebounding. That's
Mm.
been,
Yeah,
Jaren
because
Jackson.
Jaren, you don't rebound.
No, that boy be
Yeah.
getting 5 rebounds, bro.
Mm.
So Clingan could come in and literally probably average a double double.
Mm.
Like, and then even offensively, obviously, I know he didn't have a bag or nothing, but Jaw's a good passer.
Yeah,
So I
just
think
throw
he
some
could
hoops.
exactly he could get
Mm.
some buckets off of those. So this is the fit I want. Now if the Raptors were 6, I'm not gonna lie, the Raptors might take Clingan at 6 if it was them.
Yeah, we're 5 for 6 Everton. 'Cause I had Donovan Clingan going here.
For the Raptors,
Yeah, so
yeah,
we only had to pick 5 differently, but it's just like Scotty Barnes, a great perimeter defender. You give him the best paint defender in the draft, and the Raptors got defense like figured out like that.
literally.
It gets some more scoring over there. It's just that Raptors team would be a lot of fun, and
Mhm.
I'm very excited for the future of the Raptors. This pick were to happen because like you get Quickly, you got Barrett, you got Grady Dick, like you got a lot of things going in Toronto, and with the East being weaker, I'd be surprised if I don't see the Raptors in the playoffs next season.
Not mad at that. Not mad at that at all, man.
So that'll move us to 7, where I'll
Mhm.
have my first ever trade happening.
Yeah.
And so at 7, who do you have the rap? I'm first. What am I talking about? Yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Dalt Connect. I'm not gonna talk too
Okay.
much about it just because I already talked about it in the team or in the my 5 GM. Wow, it's not my GM. This isn't 2K. In the 5 out GM, I already talked about it. If you're listening to the whole podcast, you already know. But if you're watching on YouTube, just go to the previous segment. Dalton Connect, the magic they need shooting, and Dalton Connect's the best shooter in the draft. And being at 23 years old, he's going to contribute right off the bat.
Yeah. So in my order, I messed it up. I have the Raptors at 7. And I'm not gonna lie, I got Rob. I know it's kind
Mm,
of confusing because they have quickly, but it's like I don't see Rob falling this far down. Like
you just
he's just
can't.
too hot of a commodity. And honestly, drafting Rob makes it easier for you to be like, do we really need to bring back quickly? Like, do we need to
Real.
over? No, hold on. Let me say that. Did you say really or
Yeah, no,
real?
I said real.
Like, do we really need to pay quickly 30 million, 25 million, like whatever?
Mm,
Or do we just draft Rob and
mm,
say, my fault,
yeah.
bro? You know,
But
because
did you really trade OG Anunoby for RJ Barrett?
he damn. True. Like, you know what? Quickly could probably start the first year, like
Yeah.
rookie year Rob, and then
Mhm.
after that, Rob probably gonna get that job.
Yeah. And then quickly, you are a Washington Wizard.
Yeah, like I hate that the Wizards are just like, just send him there. He'll
It's
go there. Like, but no, let's
like being sent to
realistically.
Alcatraz.
Oh, true. That's facts. It's better than that. But yeah, I think Rob, he's just not gonna fall that much further down, especially not this next team. I
Mm.
don't want Rob in this next team. So yeah, Toronto Rob would be really fun to be honest.
It scared me. I forgot this team's next. But we're going to Utah. If you guys forgot, like me and Everton tend to do, the Utah Jazz are a basketball team in the
They
National
are.
Basketball Association.
Yes, they
I,
do
I'm not gonna.
exist.
I'd be forgetting.
Me too. I'd definitely be forgetting. So even though I like the player that I put here for the Jazz, after a while, once he gets drafted by them, I'll probably just be like, damn, oh, Murchie's still in the NBA. Like that's how it's gonna feel. But for 8, I got Utah taking Reed Shepherd. I don't
Uh,
know.
now
Like,
that's a perfect fit.
you know why I picked him, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly why you picked Reed Shepherd.
No, but like he's a great player. I love Reed Shepherd. I think he's a phenomenal player. He's another one where guys like I don't think he'll fall much further than 8.
Mm,
So and then I think he fits. Like Colin Sexton's a dog. Why not put a
yeah.
dog right next to him? You know,
Mm,
Keontae George. He's got some things to figure out, and he can still be your future point guard because you can
mm,
always move people to the bench. That's the thing.
yeah.
They have flexibility there. But then I think Reed Shepherd, like he does all the things they want from a point guard, right?
Mm,
I'd say he's a 1
yeah.
because he can pass.
Oh,
So,
he's a great passer.
and then at the end of the day, Utah, they're Utah. So,
Yeah. No seasoning in Utah.
no,
But
not at all.
when I was thinking about the Jazz, I made this pick for 2 reasons. One,
hmm
so I'm going with the wing. I want Ron Holland here. So
Ron Holland,
yeah,
yeah.
my thinking was one, you either draft the opposite of Laurie, so he can either come off for the bench for him, or this is
hmm
your Laurie replacement, depending if Laurie moves this offseason. I
hmm
think Ron Holland, like he'd look great. The G League team, the Ignite
They
sucks, but Ron Holland,
suck.
you can still see the potential. Like he's athletic, he can defend. The 3-point shot kind of fell off a little bit, but
hmm
it's gonna take some time to develop. And I think Ron Holland would be an awesome fit because like I love Reed Shepherd in Utah. I think that'd be great, but I really want to see Keontae George. I think I'm gonna watch Utah Jazz, but like I've heard great things about Keontae George. Like I want to keep
Yeah,
seeing that going. I don't want to hinder that
facts.
by any chance.
That's true. I
And
agree.
here's
I am
the
mad at
big
that.
thing with this draft is like a lot of this just gonna be like scheme fit. Like I feel like a
hmm
lot of this is gonna be BPA because like there isn't like every all star in the world in this draft. So I think
hmm
that's why some players who like shouldn't fall are just naturally going to fall in this draft.
Because of that. Yeah, that's a great point. It's a phenomenal point.
Stop. So that'll bring us to 9. We're gonna be at the Houston Rockets, and one of the names that should have been falling this far is gonna fall into the grasp of maybe the best young core in the NBA.
hmm
And I'm having Nikola Topic go here. He's gonna be a potential Fred Van Vliet
Oh, I
replacement.
forgot you didn't have him picked
Yeah,
yet.
because like
Okay.
the Rockets are going to need a point guard in the future because Van Vliet's old and Amen Thompson is clearly not going to be a point guard for you guys. So you
Nah.
get someone to be a great passer, can distribute to all these like you just have a bunch of freak scorers on this team. Like Jalen Green likes to give you a bucket, Whitmore wants to get a bucket. Like it's just a bunch of guys that want to score. So who's gonna lead that mission? That's gonna be Nikola Topic, and he can still get you a bucket when you need it as well. It's just the future Houston would be so bright with this move, and I would love it dearly.
Yeah, I like that pick. The thing with me, I already had Topic and Rob off the board at this
Yeah,
point in terms of like the point guards who I think would fit, and even Reed too.
yeah.
So I just went for the other guy who's probably like the BPA at this point.
Mm,
And hey, the Rockets are a team that's on the come up. They might want to get a guy who can help them win right now.
yeah.
I got Dalton Connect here. I mean, I
That's
know
a
it's like
great pick.
right, like because he can score, and that's hey, they need a guy who could just come in, score the ball, and I feel like when Jalen Green, hopefully it doesn't happen again, but if he's having one of those things where he starts off the season, like, is he okay? Dalton
Yeah.
Connect could come in and score.
Mm,
So I think just off of the strength of him being an older prospect who can be good right away for a team who probably wants to pursue being a playoff team next year,
mm.
perfect pick.
Yeah, no, I love that fit as well. It's just a perfect spark plug off the bench. I would love the Houston Rockets next season, like a
Yeah.
lot.
hmm
But that will move us to 10, and now we have the Atlanta Hawks. Everton, who's going here?
So for Atlanta, again, obviously this offseason is going to be interesting in terms of what they do moving forward in terms of their two
Yeah,
guards.
better be something.
Yeah, they cannot go another season having those two as their 1 and 2. They got to move off of one of them.
Mhm.
We kind of have an idea who, but anyways. At 10 though, I have the Hawks taking Ron Holland. I think at this point he has probably the most upside of pretty much any other prospect left at this point. And
Mhm.
he's a great wing. I guess, yeah, they have DeAndre Hunter, but DeAndre Hunter could come off the bench, bro. It's really not that hard. Like
It's DeAndre
he
Hunter.
it's DeAndre Hunter, bro. Like it's okay. And then Jalen Johnson, I think, is a good four. I
Mhm.
like Ron Holland. I think if they do keep either or, because DeJounte Murray can pass the ball. I know Trae Young's probably a better passer, but DeJounte Murray
Yeah.
can pass the ball. Either whichever guard he plays with, I think would be able to feed him pretty well in terms of getting the ball.
Mhm.
So I like this pick. I think he's just a solid wing with great upside, and
Mhm.
yeah, I like this pick.
Dude, that team would have like some dogs on it. Like they're not gonna win
It
a lot of games, but it's gonna be some
no.
gritty basketball, and I'd be
hmm
here for it.
Yeah, me too. Atlanta basketball. Sometimes you just need some fun out there, man.
Mhm. And what's totally gonna be a fun pick is when I have them doing Reed Shepard at 10. I
That's a
know he's a
good
great
pick.
passer. He's a good
Yeah.
defender to complement DeJounte Murray. Can play off ball, can't play on ball. Like he can do both sides of it. It's just I think that'd be a better pairing than it would be with Trae Young and DeJounte.
hmm
And Reed can't go any lower than this.
No, I don't think so. I like that pick. If like I said, the thing that made it hard for me is like the guys who I feel like would fit a certain team were off the board. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, just roll with it, I guess.
All right. So that's the first 10 through. So for the
hmm
rest of this, because we're going to 23, we're not gonna like speed run it, but we're just gonna say a name, a couple sentences, move on.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do it.
Yeah, so number 11, my Chicago Bulls. I had him in the taking this guy in the 5-out rebuild. They're gonna say the same as me to John Salon,
Same
six
here.
nine guy. I didn't
hmm
realize that shot was like that, but he's athletic and just the upside is one of the highest upsides in the draft. So that's who the Bulls take.
I'm not gonna say anything more. I had the same name, and Joey just said all that needs to be said. So we're all good. Let's move on to 12.
I can't wait to watch his back and see how many same picks me and Everton have.
Ah,
'Cause
bro,
we're at
it's
5 or 6 already.
we're definitely a few in already having the same, which is inevitable at this
Yeah,
point.
so then who do the Thunder take?
Okay, so I was a little torn, but I went with
Yeah.
Cody Williams. I know that's like cliche, but like, it's Cody Williams. I still think he's a good player. I know his March Madness was a little like,
Yeah, very eye
but I
embarrassing.
think the thing that I've noticed with my team as a Thunder fan is we've built such a solid like young core and all that to where it's like we could kind of reach,
Mm,
and like, hey, why not let bro play with his brother? Like,
yeah.
So I feel like it's fine us taking him at 12. Sure, maybe that I don't even think that's a real reach though. I feel like he's still a lottery talent.
Mhm.
But he's a solid player. He's a wing. We still do need wings. Like I know J Dub's playing the four, but he should really be playing the three. But whatever, he can still play the four. Lou Dort's cool, but long term, I do think we should consider getting another wing.
Mhm.
So it was either, and plus the guy who I wanted us to pick, he's a top pick at this point. So I wanted
Yeah.
Klingon the whole season. I was like Klingon, but he's
Yeah.
he's too far up, bro.
Mm.
It's not
He
happening.
did too
So
well.
he did too well, bro. So at this point, Cody Williams, I'm rolling with at
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. Me and Everton done it again. I also went Cody Williams, even though I don't
Oh,
like him.
damn.
And my reasoning was this team just runs off vibes, and this is the great vibe pick. So that
This
was my
is the
only
great five.
reasoning. Just off
Yeah, there's
vibes.
only one other person that could have been picked here if we're talking about vibes, but he did not get picked here.
Well, he's going next for me. He's going to Sacramento. I picked Jared McCain.
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's
This
fair.
is they need a spark plug off the bench, someone that can score. Like they don't
Mhm.
have that at all. And Jared McCain, he's ready to get you some buckets and he can pass the ball as well. And he's a dog. He dives for everything. I think it'd be a great pick for Sacramento.
Yeah. For Sacramento, they were a hard one for me too. Because I thought about a guy like Jared McCain or even like a Jacoby Walter, but I'm like,
Yeah.
they can't make a mistake and pick another defensive guard.
Yeah.
And look what happened with not Davion Mitchell.
hmm
But then also, I didn't consider Malik Monk leaving, so I figured they'd have like three guards on the roster already. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they're probably gonna go wing or big, but the wings left was kind of like, mm,
Yeah, a little shaky.
So you know what? I just went for the piss you off pick, Kyle Filipowski, bro. Yeah, I just get mad.
Sabonis and Filipowski. That's haram
But
ball.
I know, but I think he could low-key learn something from Sabonis because I'm not gonna say they have a similar play style, but I think he could learn to become a better passing big.
Mm,
And look, the Kings already don't play defense anyways. Why not
yeah.
have another dude who can help
Well,
you offensively?
Sabonis got a third place vote for Defensive Player of the Year. Had more votes than Chet Holmgren did.
What?
Mm. I can send you the screenshot. Like they did the list for the first place, second place, third place votes.
Hmm.
Sabonis got a third place vote. Chet Holmgren didn't even get a single vote.
You don't get me mad. Let's move on to number 14.
Number
What the
14. I went Kyle Filipowski at 14. I don't like him at all. I think he stinks, but like the Blazers are gonna go center, and like it's just even though I don't think he's good, a 7 foot guy that can shoot is just such an attractive build in the NBA. He's not gonna
Hmm.
fall. He's gonna be a lottery pick.
Yeah. And I went for Yves Massi
Mm,
for the Blazers. Again, I think they're going big only because they still have question marks in terms of Aiden and Rob Williams. So if they decide to move on for one of those, why not have a young big like Massi? I don't
yeah,
see an issue with
I
that.
like that.
So might as well take the gamble.
Yeah, and then 15 for the Heat. Jacoby Walter can't fall anymore. You know, it's another player I'm not the biggest fan of.
Oh
It's just
my gosh.
there's some great upside there. He's supposed to be a 3 and D player, and the Heat they can't. There's no. I mean, unless they want to draft Devin Carter, I guess. But there's only gonna be so many old people here. They gotta take him.
I would Jacoby Walter too. I think the Heat would be such a good landing spot for him because like
Mhm.
he's young. And I think there's potential there. And I feel like the Heat is
Yeah.
probably the best team to bring out that potential.
Hmm.
So I also want Jacoby Walter.
This is great. This is great content.
Oh my
76ers at
gosh.
16. Where they take him?
Um, I had Jared McCain again.
Okay.
I think the vibes are there, one, but he's generally a good player. And I think depending on how they do this offseason, if they do really go the whole swing big and just get Paul George, why not get a guy who can be a spark plug for them off the bench and Jared
Hmm.
McCain? So yeah, I say him at 16 for the Sixers is what I want.
I like that. I went Tristan Da Silva because he's pretty much what you
Mm.
want Tobias Harris to be, where it's just
Hmm.
he's a stretch big. That's exactly what he's gonna be. And he's 23, so he can contribute right off the bat, and you don't have to
Hmm.
bring back Tobias Harris.
Yeah, that's facts. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick, actually. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now we're at pick 17, the LA Lakers.
Oh no, it's you. It's not me.
Oh, I know. I'm just building up some suspense because I did put Bronny James on my list.
Oh my.
Listen, like at this point, there's only be so many rookies that are gonna contribute right off the bat. Bronny James is bringing back LeBron, and you're selling so many jersey sales. This is just a pure business move. And Lakers, they don't like winning games; they like doing business. So they're taking Bronny.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just seen a report before we started talking about the Lakers still willing to draft Bronny, even though LeBron says it's not a priority. So I'm not mad at the pick. I still want to pick just off of who I think they should take,
Uh-huh.
but I would not be surprised to hear Bronny James' name get called 17th. I want Tristan Da Silva
Hmm.
because he's a stretch big and he could either push LeBron back to the three and
Yeah.
be a floor spacer, but they just need floor spacing wings. I feel like a lot of their
Mm.
wings are just either Torian Prince, who come on.
Yeah.
And then you got Jared Vanderbilt who plays some defense, but get him
Does
off the
not
court
play. Yeah.
offensively. You know, and then Cam Reddish is kind of the same thing. I think De Silva, one, he's able to come in and probably contribute right away and stretch big. You can't go wrong
Mm.
with that.
You can't. They need some floor spacing badly. And then I'll bring it for. Will be you the Magic. Me will be the Memphis Grizzlies.
So for me is the Magic. I went Devin Carter, as I said earlier. Again, I think a guy who can contribute as a guard right away. And I know it's a bit of a log jam, so it might be a little confusing, but again, I kind of went just like who's available that I think would make sense. Devin Carter.
Yeah, I
So
like that.
yeah.
Well, for my Grizzlies, I went Yves Massi. It's just like
Mm.
that's pretty much the slightly worse version of Donovan Clingan. It's still gonna
Yeah.
help the game of Jaren Jackson a ton, and it's just be a
Mm.
great scheme fit. So if you can walk out of this draft with a center like Yves Massi and you get Cole Anthony off the bench, Grizzlies will be a whole lot of fun next year.
That's facts. I agree. Yeah, that's facts.
The 19, the Raptors on the board again,
Hmm.
and Everton. You went Rob Dillingham earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you won't be going guard here, but I want Isaiah Collier. The potential is just
Hmm.
too big, and that's a
Hmm.
guard you can bring off the bench. And if it works out, it works out.
Yeah, that's facts. That is
Yeah.
facts. Yeah. Obviously you went Klingon earlier,
Yeah.
right, for the Raptors. Okay,
Uh,
so I went Rob earlier, so ironically I went big, of course, and I went
oh,
Zach Edey. So
yeah, I
I
like that.
think bring him home, right? He's from Canada, right?
Mm,
Am I
he
tripping?
is.
Yeah, he's from Canada, so bring him home, and he's generally a good center. I think people are just trying to do the whole he's tall, I don't care,
Yeah.
but look, I think the potential's there. Like he could play behind Jakob or he could start. Like you can't pass up on a dude being 7'4", 280, bro.
You
That can
can't.
actually work in the post.
Yeah.
So the spacing might be a little funky with him and actually with Rob, Dick, Grady Dick,
Yeah.
RJ and Scotty. That might not be the worst thing in the world for Zach Edey. So yeah, I think that's a good pick. Bring him home. Why
I
not?
would like that a lot. And if I didn't go center earlier, I would have picked Zach Edey here for the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll bring us to 20, where the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm gonna cut you off everything because this is where I have Zach Edey going.
Mm.
He's not
Okay,
gonna
I had
start, but the
yeah.
Cavs just have no depth when it comes to big men. It's like shocking. So they're gonna get one here.
Okay, so for the Cavs, I went Kevin McCullough.
I like that.
I know he didn't play a lot this season, but when he was on the court, bro
Mm.
he
He
was
was the best
hooping
player on Kansas. I
pretty
I
much.
have friends that go to Kansas and they're in love with him.
Yeah, he was the best player. And again, the Cavs, depending on how this offseason works out, if they do want to still compete, he'd be a guy who could come in and compete right away.
Mm.
And but if they don't want to compete, then I guess get a potential dude. But for me, I think Kevin McCullough is the best pick for them here.
I agree. It's just the Cavs are gonna look a lot different next year.
They are. They definitely are.
So I cut you off, so I'm gonna let you go first now for the Pelicans.
For the Pelicans, I do have Isaiah Collier here. I think, like
Mm.
you said, the potential is too crazy. Now, obviously, the Trae Young thing's been looming, but
Yeah.
we don't know if that's going to happen. So I feel like getting a point guard here is smart. And if it works out, man, Collier, Zion Williamson might feed families, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Zion's gonna eat the food himself. Joking, joking, joking. But no, I think Collier. Damn, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
But no, Collier, I think is a solid player, and the potential is still there,
Mm.
but he's got to just reach the potential. That's the real question mark.
Yeah. So I went another potential pick. I went Tyler Smith from the G League Ignite, a
Mm,
6'11" forward who's shooting well from the 3-point line when he's supposed to be an athletic guy and get in the paint. That's just a lot of promise. And if
mhm.
you can do the opposite of Zion and get a forward that can shoot, I think that helps the Pelicans a ton.
Yeah, I am not mad at that at all.
So then now we have the Phoenix Suns, who I have taking Ryan Dunn because this team needs some defense badly, and he has the potential upside to be the best perimeter defender in this draft. Go get that.
Mm, I am not mad at that. It was either him or I went Tyler Collect from
Yeah,
Marquette because they need point guard play. Like you can't just keep having this D-Book Bradley Beal run thing. You have to get an actual point guard.
yeah.
So I think the defensive thing might be a little questionable, but
Mm,
I think just having a pure point guard who can space the floor and do all the other things,
mm.
I think you kind of have to, especially at 22. Why not?
Yeah. And all I'm gonna say is with Tyler Collect because I had a lot of faith in Marquette this year. I had them winning March Madness, even though they didn't. No,
Hmm.
he might have the best left-handed layup I've seen in the entirety of basketball. Like seriously, when it's a left-handed layup, I've never seen him miss it. It's insane. So
Hmm.
that's my biggest upside for him.
Hmm.
So then
Okay.
for the final pick, Milwaukee Bucks, or at least for our mock draft, because we're just doing
Yeah.
the teams that got eliminated.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks at 23. Are you first, or is it me?
I think you just went, so I guess I'll go.
Got you.
I got Deron Holmes.
Okay.
I think this is a good one. Again, an
He's a
older
dog.
guy. Like I feel like this is draft is going to be filled of a lot of older guys. Pause. Because like they're going to be able to contribute, and I think for the Bucks,
Mm,
Milwaukee Bucks, look, if you get a guy like Deron Holmes and he works out, he might make Bobby Portis expendable because
mm,
his strengths kind of remind me of like a Bobby Portis, where it's like he can score, shoot
yeah.
the three ball, and he's got some decent size. If he can really work out,
Mm,
you might be able to get rid of Bobby Portis and get some value and make this team make a little bit more sense,
yeah.
you know?
Because they need that
So,
badly. I like that pick a lot. I actually wish I did that one myself, but I went Kevin McCullough because I know he had the
yeah.
injury, but he only fouled so far. Nice
Hmm.
3-and-D player, and he's
Yeah.
older, so he's gonna benefit right off the bat off the bench.
That's a great pick. Either or, I think is a good pick for the Bucks, to be honest.
So that's our mock draft. We're gonna quickly speed run it. I'll go first. Everything, get your drink of water because it's gonna be a lot. And I'm not saying the numbers every time. I'm saying the team and the player, so you guys can keep track of that. But
Ooh.
Pistons, Zachary Reese-Hache, Wizards, Alexander Sarr, Hornets, Stephon Castle, Trailblazers, Matas Buzelis, Spurs, Rob Dillingham, Raptors, Donovan Clingan. Trade up for the Magic where they'll take Dalton Connect. And then the Jazz, Ron Holland, the Rockets, Nikola Topic, the Hawks, Reed Shepard, the Bulls to John Salon, the Thunder, Cody Williams, the Kings, Jared McCain, the Trailblazers, Kyle Filipowski, the Heat, Jacoby Walter, the Sixers, Tristan Da Silva, the Lakers, Bronny James. 18, where the Grizzlies they traded back take Yves Messi, the Raptors take Isaiah Collier, the Cavs take Zach Edey, the Pelicans take Tyler Smith, the Suns take Ryan Dunn, and the Milwaukee Bucks take Kevin McCullough Jr.
Perfect, perfect. All right,
Thank
so
you.
Pistons got Alexander Sarr, Wizards get Wait, did I say Alexander Sarr? Sorry. Pistons get Zachary Reese-Shea. Wizards get Alexander Sarr. Hornets get Stephon Castle. Blazers get Buzelis. Spurs get Topic. Grizzlies get Klingon. Raptors get Rob. Jazz get Reed. Rockets get Dalton Connect. Hawks get Holland. Bulls get Salon. Thunder get Cody Williams. Kings get Filipowski. Blazers get Missy. Heat get Walter. Sixers get McCain. Lakers get De Silva. Magic get Devin Carter. Raptors get Zach Edey. Cavs get McCullough. Pelicans get Collier. Suns get Collect. And Bucks get Deron Holmes. Yeah,
Great
mock
work,
draft.
Everton.
Mock draft. Mock draft.
And that's mock draft. But I don't want to talk about no mock drafts. I want to talk about my money. I love money, and that's why
Preach.
me and Everton, we are getting involved in the stock market today.
Yeah.
This is going to be NBA buy, keep, sell. Whose stock are we buying? Whose stock are we going to keep riding because we always believed? And whose stock are we selling?
Okay.
Everton, we're going to go with the buy first.
Okay, so
I've done 3 for each.
okay, I did one team, one player for each.
Okay, I think I'll do the same.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
fine.
do the same.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay.
I'm buying a Minnesota Timberwolves stock. I know
Yeah.
it's a little pricey at the moment, but like
hmm
it's just I had so many doubts about these team, and all those doubts have gone out the window. So I have to buy now before it's like NBA championship. It's like $100 a stock.
Yeah. I went for the Grizzlies because their stock have
Mhm.
dropped so much that I know when I buy it and then they get really healthy again, it'll go back up. So when I sell it, I'm gonna make a bunch of money back. So
That's
I'm going
ingenious.
Memphis easily for me.
Yeah. So I had the Memphis Grizzlies as one of my keep teams, so that's why I didn't buy because I've had a lot of faith in them in this other team, but I'm not gonna say that
hmm
yet. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
probably an easy cop out, but I'm buying Jalen Green stock. It's just that end of the season was
Mhm.
just too promising. It's just if he can keep playing like that, he's gonna be an all-star caliber type player. I'm not saying he's gonna make it, but he's gonna be an all-star caliber type player. And give me the money on that one. No one thought it'd be the day.
Oof. Okay. I gotta really lock in for this one. So the player I picked, you're probably gonna raise your eyebrow at, but
Okay.
I'll explain. I picked Denny Avdia.
Okay.
So I know that's like I wanted to do
That's
something
a
that wasn't
poll.
I wanted to do something that wasn't crazy obvious because Jalen Green, obviously, I feel like that's a good one. Like all of the, there's other guys, but I went for a
Mhm.
guy who's talking about Denny Avdia.
No,
Nobody is. But I
that's
looked
what
at
the
his
Washington Wizards
numbers.
do to a man.
Exactly. But he's averaging 15, 7 and 4, 50%, 37%, 74%. And the biggest thing for him is getting the minutes. His numbers have always been like, but he's always getting bogus minutes. But this year he was getting real minutes. His numbers went up a lot. I think as the Wizards start to realize that this dude you need to invest more in. If
Mhm.
they do that, his numbers I think will continue to go up. So I'm buying stock now before he becomes like really good, and then I can sell it and make my money
Yeah.
back. But it's an awkward pick. I can agree, it's definitely an
No,
awkward pick.
I
But
think I'd buy this stock just for the fact he might be a trade candidate and could go somewhere else and have like more name value.
that's true too.
So I
That's true
like
too.
that reasoning. But now, whose stock are we keeping? And I'm not gonna do the Grizzlies because Everton just did that for the buy. But I'm keeping my Houston Rockets stock. I've seen so much potential with this team, and they're gonna be so good next year. Whatever happens in this draft, whether it's a trade, just all these young guys keep getting better. How could you not believe in this team?
Yeah, I'm also keeping stock in Houston. There's no reason to sell. Like me and you have both been like big on that. We think they're gonna be great, and I'm keeping stock. There's no reason not to keep stock here. It's just
It'd be ridiculous.
yeah,
Because
stupid.
we're gonna sell it for so much.
Oh my goodness, give it 2 years. This is gonna be so high value.
Yeah, I might not even be finishing my degree. Like I'm gonna
Low key.
I'm gonna go straight to Dubai and just start pissing off something, just letting some money fly off the top
Let
of a building. Like,
At this point, yeah, it's gonna be too much. Bread's
mhm.
gonna be flowing.
And then for my player, Chicago Bulls fan here, Kobe White is my guy. He's gonna keep getting better. The numbers are gonna keep getting better. And if the Bulls don't make any moves, he's eventually gonna replace Jamal Murray on the Denver Nuggets, and all the clouds can be coming his way.
That is a shout. I like that shout. That's a funny ass shout. I'm keeping my stock in Paulo. Like
Good
I've been
answer.
high on him all season, and
You had him like top 3 in like 5 years from now, I think.
yeah,
It
I
was
was gonna.
top,
That was my next point. I had him. I think it was 5, but I had
okay.
him top 5 in the next 5 years. So it's a take that I'm gonna stand by. I'm not moving
Mhm.
away from it. But yeah, I'm really high on Paulo, and I'm keeping stock there, bro. Because if he does pan out to be top 5, oh, my money's flowing. That
And
money's
the
flowing.
Magic are looking to get a lot better this offseason. So like Paulo stock's gonna be rising. He's gonna keep being a consistent all-star.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's some love. It's time to hate. And
Ooh,
I
oh.
hinted this earlier. I'm selling my Sacramento Kings stocks. I think this team's so finished. It's gonna be this like
Okay.
the second off season in a row where they're not gonna make any big moves, and the West is just too good to stay consistent. And if they
Yeah.
lose like Malik Monk, like I'm so serious, this team could finish like 11th or 12th. Like I know they have
Mm-hmm.
Fox and Sabonis, the team's trash outside of that. So I just
Yeah.
don't see a future for the Sacramento Kings team. And I know there was so like lighting the beam, like the aura is there, people want to buy that stock, but the beam's not gonna be lit for much longer.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that sell. I sold the Clippers.
Yeah, that's a good.
Like, because their stock is like it's already starting to drop a little bit, but I feel like where I'm at, I could sell it right now and not, be too down because look, they re-signed Kawhi, which okay. And
Yeah,
then PG, I don't know if he's gonna return. You don't know what James Harden, right? Because he might just skedaddle. And then Russell
yeah.
Westbrook,
No comment from the Westbrook fan himself.
I'm gonna just say that was bad.
Mm,
I'm not gonna go too deep into that because at this point, what can I say? But dude, that was bad.
yeah,
So, like the team, and then the rest of the team is like role players. So what are you gonna do? Have Kawhi run with Norman Powell? And it's like, no, dude. And the
it's
West is too
unserious.
stacked. The West is too stacked. So I'm selling the Clippers stock, man. It's just it's going downhill, and they have no picks because of
Yeah.
who? The Thunder.
Mm.
So
No, I'm glad they
yeah,
can bring a smile to your face after that Westbrook slander.
hey man, I gotta live with it, bro.
Yeah. But I'm gonna let you sell a player first before I sell mine.
I'm man, this one was tough. I was sitting here for like 10 minutes, like, what do I really
Mm.
want to do here? I'm selling Dame, bro. I'm just like, yeah, let me actually do this. Yeah. I'm selling Dame, bro, because it's like I don't see how he'll be able to improve on the season he had. I feel like he's either gonna just this is where he's at, or it can only get worse. I feel like his defense is only gonna continue to be cone worthy.
Mm.
Offensively, look, unless he starts making his shots, it's gonna be kind of tough.
Yeah,
So, and then the Buck situation isn't helping at all either. So I just feel like he's gonna be stuck in I don't know, being kind of
yeah,
So I'm
I
selling
get
that
that.
Dame stock right now.
Yeah. So I had two names. I also thought you were gonna say Dame,
Mm,
but my other name, and this is kind of my, it's not as serious as a Denny of a Dio poll, but just kind of a why would you sell? What's the point of this? I'm
mm-hmm,
selling my Laurie Markkinen stock. I
mm-hmm.
think he's a fantastic player. Do not get me wrong. I think his career's gonna be wasted in Utah because I do not want to get rid of him. So I just think like as much as I love him, I think he's an incredible player. If he's not gonna leave Utah, no one's gonna watch him. No one's gonna even know he played in the NBA.
No,
So I just don't think the stock's gonna get any higher than at this moment.
I agree. That's not a bad shout at all.
Mm. So what were you flashing the three for?
Oh, I thought you were gonna call him a third option, but
Oh, he could be a third option on a championship team, but he's just
yeah,
Utah's so stingy. Like you can probably put Mikal Bridges in the sell category as well.
you could low key do the same for Mikhail. Who's your other guy?
My other guy was Dame.
Oh, it was Dame. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, I
we
just
had the
don't want
same
to see
thought
we did.
process. Okay,
So
cool.
we've had a lot of agreeing today, and that's gonna wrap up the 5 Out podcast episode 17. But we always have to end on a silly goose segment. So when
Woo.
I was younger, one of my favorite games I used to play on my Chromebook was the higher or lower game for Google searches. So we're gonna put Everton to a test today. We're gonna do a higher or lower people's career points. We're gonna see how far he gets to. If he fails on the first one, I'll give him a second chance. But outside of that, Everton pretty much has one life till he dies.
Okay.
No
Total
pressure. You're
points.
like total points
Okay.
throughout the career. And if in case you don't know how the game works, you're gonna say two players' names, then higher or lower. And then if Everton gets it right, the second name that was said will then be compared to the third person, higher or lower, so on, so on. You'll hopefully get the gist of it.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing it.
So I have my players' points. I'm kind of doing this order on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So if it takes me a second to see which name I want to pull, because like I want to make it challenging.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so who has scored more points throughout their career? Oh, this is a good one to start off with because they're really good friends. Gilbert Arenas and Nikola Jokic.
Um, dang, Jokic. Gilbert did not play that long, though.
That is true.
Wait, who was first? You said Gilbert or
Gilbert was
Jokic?
first, so if you get this one right, it'll be Jokic, and then the next person.
So, okay. Mm. I'm gonna go Jokic.
That was the correct answer. Gilbert Arenas
Okay.
has scored 11,402, and Jokic has scored 14,139.
Scored 3,000 more points. My goodness.
Higher or lower, Nikola Jokic or John Wall.
Mm. Damn. Mm, John Wall.
That was incorrect.
Wow, he's past John Wall.
John
Damn.
Wall scored 12,088.
Damn.
But since you died early, you get your second life.
Okay. So it's Jokic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who has scored more points, Nikola Jokic or Jason Tatum? Wait, no, it's John Wall or Jason Tatum. Excuse me.
Oh. John Wall or
That,
Jason
that's
Tatum.
my fault.
12,000. Has Tatum reached the 10,000 mark?
He has.
He has.
I'll give
Okay.
you that. I'll give you that.
Okay. I think. Uh, mm, mm. The thing that's tripping me up is John Wall's injury is really just. I'm gonna go Tatum.
It was John Wall. Jason Tatum was at 11,032.
He would be at 11,000, of course. Tatum's just always gonna sell me, isn't he? Of course he is.
So do I just give you another life so we don't make this too quick?
Yeah, that's fine. We could just keep going.
All right.
Damn, bro. How about this? We'll just do three. So I have one
Okay.
more, and then I'm cooked after that.
Yeah, got you. Okay. Who scored more points, Jason Tatum or Derrick Rose?
These are hard, dude. Oh
Yeah,
my
I can't. You
gosh.
thought I was making this easy? You thought I was
Damn.
feeling you?
Because the thing is, right? Like he had those peak years, those first 3 years, then he had them injury years, then he had those like kind of mid D Rose years,
Yeah.
then he had those bench D Rose years.
A lot of longevity though.
A lot of longevity. So I feel like I'm gonna go Derrick Rose.
That was correct, as Derrick Rose had 12,578.
Oh my damn, D Rose. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. Who has scored more points throughout their career, Derrick Rose or Jamal Crawford?
Jamal Crawford was low-key a shot chucker though. Like
He
he
let
was
that
gonna
thing fly.
he was gonna let it fly. And he played from like he played for a long time too. I'm gonna go Jamal Crawford.
That was the correct answer. Jamal Crawford has 19,419 points.
See, I knew it. I
He
knew
let
it.
that thing fly. And before I ask this next one, I can't read my handwriting, so I'm going to double check this one before I completely lie to the crowd.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
So sorry. I know I should be more prepared and realize my handwriting is hot dookie water.
Man, don't trip.
Do, 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 do.
And I'm not cheating, by the way. I'm just sending a text.
Okay. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Okay.
Who has scored more career points, Jamal Crawford or Dwight Howard?
19,000 is a pretty decent number.
Yeah, it's a high amount.
Jamal Crawford.
And you are incorrect, as Dwight Howard scored 19,485. So he has like
Wait, what was the difference?
what's 85 minus 19?
Oh my. You're telling me he got about like what is that? 60. Wait, you said 85 minus 19?
Yeah. All right.
Struggling to do math right now.
Carry the 10.
I'm doing it in my head right now. Like what? Oh, I think it's 60.
66.
Yeah, 66.
Yeah, so Everton, this is their first silly game that you actually crap the bed. Like it's
I
first time in a while.
did. My goodness. Because like, dang. I guess I don't realize how many points these dudes be scoring, bro. That shit
Yeah, I
crazy.
know. I had no idea Jamal Crawford had 19,000 until I looked it up.
Yeah, what? Like him and Reggie Miller are kind of grouped together like dudes who played a long time but really only averaged like 18 to 19 points a game. But damn, I thought maybe Dwight because of like those years and after a while he wasn't even putting up points for real. But
Yeah,
66 points. Oh my,
crazy
I'm
stuff.
so mad. Damn, that's
But
okay though.
what's so crazy is we are so grateful for you guys' support. Thank you for tuning in every week. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want that isn't negative because we want your support. I'm Joey, the Master LeMaster, joined by Everton Levy, and make sure you stay smooth.
Stay smooth.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the Master LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.